Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Albion Giants League's Diamond Division Finals. Mechanics Cadesius here with Glacier as we bring you the Heart Showers taking on your local thugs, trying to get yet another chip in their belt. Heart Showers really been going strong since about 2022, if I've heard right.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only that, but both teams throughout the last month or so have made a little bit of a roster adjustment. Specifically, Heart Showers looking at adjusting the roster for the season, whereas Thugs had to adjust their roster halfway through the season. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these teams play into each other today.
Can't help but agree with you on that one. Roster changes can always be a little bit difficult to handle. You have to get used to the new person, the way they play, especially if it's something like, say, support or jungle, where they show themselves all over the map. Speaking of supports and junglers, one of the things that I'm very interested to see is Maui and Yamoja at this level of play. Two picks that can have a lot of impact. The Glacier, as a fellow support, which one are you more interested in at the moment?
Um, I'm gonna have to go against the meta. I'm gonna have to go against the grain, and say I've seen this Heart Showers team have a lot of success not running what most people consider to be the meta. So I'm really excited to see if the Maui that not a whole lot of people. You think of a couple of people who are known for the pick, like Delvin over in OSL. It's a good pick if you're good at it, right? But not everyone picks it up. On the same hand, though, Yamoja nerfed into the ground so many different times that you have to be a Yamoja player to pick her. Just recently caught a buff in the last patch, actually 2 or 3 if I'm not mistaken in the last patch. So I think it'll be an interesting support matchup for sure. One thing that I'm kind of interested in here, record for the teams. One thing that I do want to point out is the loss that Thugs have is to the Heart Showers, but it was a 2-1. They did take a game off the Heart Showers. They were from the same division. And that's one thing I want to bring up. Both of these teams, we got Heart Showers, which is the 1 seed from the Division A. Thugs is the team from Division A, the second seed, and it'll be interesting to see how they match up again.
You know what else is going to be interesting is kicking it over to picks and bans to see exactly what picks they want to get into. Maybe that Maui, that Yamoja, as we started talking about earlier. It looks like apparently someone has a Bake pick to look at, so a pocket pick like that can always be interesting and can spread a little bit of not necessarily uncertainty, but something like that.
Yeah,
Little bit
and
intriguing.
one thing that I'm very interested in is the Thugs play a lot of the meta, the Heart Showers don't. So I'm very interested to see if Thugs might take out some of the one trick. I don't want to accuse people of one tricking, but the Kali is a one trick for the Yeet Jungle Buff jungler on the Heart Showers team. There's also a disco one trick moment going on. So it'll be interesting to see how targeted these bans get. And speaking of targeted, there's a Wukong.
Definitely the Wukong ban, the Zots off the board, Disco, as you just previously mentioned, and of course the Kali that you just brought up. And one of the things I'm already knowing, Heart Showers, especially with the Rat ban there, taking away a lot of safety from the jungler and the solo laner.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the main reason behind the rat ban is the jungler for the local thugs recently switched over from mid to jungle to pick up Skizzy. And since he switched over to jungle, his best character has been Rat, and it has not been close. I want to say in the last game he went like a combined 20-3 on the pick, so it's very interesting to see that ban. But that leaves open one of the best meta characters in the entire game in Ravana, and that's Slam Locked, man.
Slam, locked, and loaded. Rav, very, very difficult to peel away from your backliner. I mean, Yamoja can do everything so incredibly well, from peel to setting up for her team with the ultimate to, of course, keeping her team alive through the damage with her healing and shielding. Incredible pick. Sometimes Rav is still just too much, though I do love the Yamoja ESET pairing.
That's a lot of healing. It's a lot of area control. But more than that, ESET is a pick that Skizzy has run a lot since he joined this team in the few weeks he's been a part of it. He's been pretty much only playing that and Tiamat. But that leaves open a lot of stuff that Heart Showers run all the time.
like the Maui, the Cupid, prime examples here. And you talk about area control with the Emoja and the Iset, and I certainly see that. I mean, of course, how do you not with two picks like that that just have very hard space controlling ultimates like that? Um, from uh, from Circle Protection with Eset to the River's Rebuke on Yamoja, Kukulin has, of course, his own set of space controlling CC ultimates. But I mean, Maui to pull people into a potential Cupid, Fields of Love. I mean, there's a lot going for both of these teams here.
Yeah, and both of these teams ripping through the first phase of bans, ripping through the first phase of picks. I think both teams kind of getting what they want so far. Only note that I have here though is the Maui is a character that thrives on getting people out of their position. The E set, the emoji, the Kakulin are people that want to keep people in position. So it's going to be really interesting to see the disruption style versus the lockdown style, I think. And I also think a lot of these targeted bans going to the second phase show how much these teams really, really know each other. Jingwei, Spirited Book, an absolute veteran. I think this is his sixth final that he's been in. And he's played that god a lot, man.
I mean, six finals is certainly an impressive feat to manage, and really goes to show not only how much you know the teams that you've been on and the teams that you've played with, but at that point, how much you know the players you're playing against. As you brought up the Jingwei ban, I honestly I don't hate it when you have a guy on the other side that wants to sit there, doesn't care about getting his pressure. He just wants to get to 20 and be impactful in the team fight stage. Jingwei is absolutely somebody to take away. Bakasura, Morgan Le Fay, Daji rounding out the ban list. And is there anything that really stands out to you in this last phase outside of that Jingwei
Yes.
brought up?
Yi Jungle Buff still has two of his OP picks open. There's a Mercury open, there's a Thor open, and I would be shocked if he goes anything else. I'm very much expecting this Ravana to be a solo pick. Now, if they do flex it to jungle and pick something else in solo, I'm not going to be over the moon. I'm not going to be thrilled because I do think putting Yeet Jungle Buff on those picks that he regularly carries on with that split push style that he's so well known for is important. But Ravana's good. Ravana's just really good. And on the Thug side, they lost the Jingwei. They lost the Ji, who's really, really good into Cupid and potentially really good into some of the other picks Heart Showers want to look for moving forward. So it's going to be interesting to see what Thugs go for. It looks like they might be saving their jungler for last, picking up the Onher here. And Onher's kind of a weird character. He has a lot of pressure, he has a lot of team fight presence. He doesn't have a whole lot of weak points to his game. If there is a weak point to this Thug side, how do you counter it? What is that weak point? How can we look to finish up this draft for Heart Showers?
For heart showers, one of the things I'm looking at is there is a lot of different points in time where your local thugs are going to be in the air. Kukulin with the salmon leap on her, just the massive leap into the air. If we're talking about Robin solo, I know you just said the Thor, the Mercury. A Wheelish is just begging to be played right now into that team comp, especially when you have something like a Maui on your side. But if you're
I
the go ahead.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's a really interesting look. Just knowing these players as much as they do, I don't even really think about like the normal counter picks as much as just their pockets and everything. That's a great shout. But you got to remember there is a jungler pick still left open on the thug side, so that can be countered. It's interesting to me with this Daji ban that they're kind of worried about the control junglers, the junglers that have a get out of jail free card. They've been the Camazot's get out of jail. They've been the Wukong with the Sky Ult, the Rat with the Sky Ult, the Daji with the Sky Ult. That leaves Lancelot open. Lancelot is very high prioritized by some teams, ignored by other teams. Very, very difficult to deal with without a stun, and there are no stuns on this side.
Ake Kujira going to be the hover, and I know we talked about this at least for a moment. That would put Rob in the jungle, I do believe.
And I'm gonna just say it. Yeet is good enough to play other picks. It's not that he can't play other picks. He is good enough to play other picks. And if you're going to leave him one of the three best characters in the game, why not take it? I guess is the thought process here. They like the Bake matchup into the Kakulin. They like the Thoth. And that Thoth makes a lot of sense. That Daji ban, makes a lot more sense with that Thoth being locked in. Thoth then I'll have a lot of poke pressure. There is a lot of healing on the side of Thugs, but they don't have a whole lot of non-committal engage. A lot of the things that they want to do are pretty committal. So Kukulin has to get in range. Iset doesn't have that much range on her, wants to be in your face. The Thoth poke is going to be really impactful with the healing from Cupid Hearts, with the move speed from Maui, and with the lockdown from Maui as well afterwards. This team fight comp from Heart Showers might be just as good as the Thugs comp, even though the Thugs have the Isadalt, even though they have the Emoji. What do you think there? What are you looking for in the jungle to round this out and tip the scales?
So if I'm your local thugs in the jungle, one of the things I can certainly look for. Now, Maui does have, I know you just said Sky Ultimates for a lot of the Heart Showers bands, but Maui has at least momentarily a Sky Ultimate. I cannot tell you the number of times I've dodged abilities, dodged ultimates by ulting as Maui to save myself, to save my abilities to get my team through team fights. Is that how you want to burn an ult? No. But it is something to be aware of. I don't think necessarily something with super high CC is going to necessarily do you a lot of good. What I want out of the jungler for your local thugs here is a hyper carry, someone to go in and do massive damage to the Heart Showers backline alongside Kukulin. Force these three on two split fights, and Susano, I actually really like that pick for it.
That pick is going to be really, really, really volatile. And the reason I think it's going to be so volatile is because it gets super countered if Heart Shores find it before the fight starts. But if Heart Shores use that Fields of Love, if they use the hook, Fisherman's Maui's number one ability, if they use their peel and their zone control and their you can't play here buttons, then Susano gets to go ham and go free. So I really think that that is a really interesting pick. I don't know if it's the pick that I would have looked for. I think there are safer picks, but it says two things. Number one, it says confidence, and number one, it says game plan. And number two, excuse me, it says game plan. They are ready to go. They have their initiation figured out. They have their follow up figured out. And both of these comps look incredibly coherent.
Both these teams look like they know what they want to do. I can certainly agree with you on that one. And you brought up confidence. The number of different times I speak with people, the number of times I speak with people about ADC and who to play, who not to play, what's going right, what's going wrong. And every single time I always hear Cupid, maybe not a troll pick per se, but certainly on the very bottom of the totem pole, seemingly across the board. What do you say to that, especially from a competitive standpoint?
I think Cupid has a lot more value in competitive than he does in ranked and regular conquest and non conquest game modes. You can't play here buttons are really, really good. And Fields of Love is phenomenal. He's got a really big stem on his dash. He has the sustain. I don't think he's the best ADC, don't get me wrong, but this team has been running him a lot. Anytime they don't look for X Ball, anytime they don't look for the Hu Yi, the Cupid's been that next pick in line. And so it's something that for sure I think they've practiced. I think they have data backing up the pick. And I think it does work. I think it'll be a little bit rough into Kakolin. I think Kakolin is very good into that character. I think it'll be a little bit rough into Anhur in lane if they don't get ahead. But Spirited Book is a veteran, and everyone knows because you're a veteran, that gives you an advantage, but that also gives you a disadvantage. The advantage is your experience and the amount of knowledge that you bring to the table. The disadvantage, everyone knows how you play. And even though they're on Anhur, they're not a lane dominant ADC. They're very much a team fight focused ADC. And so I think they're confident on the Heartshore side that this Cupid can survive. Maybe not a great lane matchup. And go into the team fights and do their job.
I love the way you brought that up. We're looking at confidence versus confidence, and I think that's exactly what I wanted to bring up with the on her pick as well. You pointed out Spirited Book, not the most, maybe not the most aggressive 1v1 or lane pressure winner or something like that, but I have to assume he's played long enough. He can certainly play that way. How do you want to see this lane go if you're either team?
I think honestly, even more important than the dual lane, I think the dual lane can go either way. Maui brings a lot of pressure that Cupid doesn't. Yamoja doesn't bring a lot of pressure on her. Does. It's going to be interesting because they're two different styles of lane, but both could go crazy. Both could just farm. Both teams could just be looking to farm. I mean, Heart Showers is a very split push, very macro, very objective focused team, and Thugs is a very team fight focused brawl team, and I think both drafts reflect that. One thing that I do want to bring up, I've been talking to the teams before the cast started. Spirited Book did say this is potentially their last game, or at least last serious competitive game of Smite, looking to potentially hang up the boots after this. I'm not sure exactly what the Heart Showers plans are, but they did say that they're very confident, they're very professional walking in, they're very excited to play. And their mid laner wanted everyone to know that they're excited to get a 3-0 over with so that they can get back to Marvel Rivals. So I think the focus here is on the priorities here are right. You know what I mean? Getting back to other games, better games, good games, rather than this indie esport that we love so much, right?
Indie esport is certainly one way to put it. Not the first one that comes to mind. Nor, however, to continue talking about these teams for just a little bit here, nor was the first thing that came to mind. Honestly, this Bake Kujira, I know you brought up you said what one of the three best picks still on the board, if I do recall. What makes Bake Kujira so good in the moment, especially after everything that he has been through?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think he is good. I think they've tried to prove me wrong on that. They've had some success with it. I'm not a Bake Kujira believer. I don't believe in the whale. I don't think it's a good pick. I think you get a lot more value out of other picks. But here's the two things it does bring. Number one, it's very difficult to lean into a character that can just hit the whole wave constantly while they're hitting you. There have been entire metas for eons, Bellona hitting the wave and hitting you, Osiris hitting the wave and hitting you, Yorm hitting the wave and hitting you. That's a whole thing. It's very difficult to play around that in solo when Smite is such a clear focused game. The other thing that Bake brings is the late game time dilation. Oleron ult, Bake ult, the time dilation is incredibly strong.
Can't help but agree with you on that one. And while I definitely also agree with you on your overall views of the Bake Kujira pick, I don't know if the time dilation will agree with you as we kick it over to Dilo and Musi on the cast.
Thank you very much there, Maconis and Glacier, our desk duo here. Hello, everyone, and welcome to AGL Diamond Division Finals, a best of 5 between the Heart Showers, because they're ready to show us a hell of a performance versus your local thugs. I'm D'Lo, joined here by Musi. We got Tess Almighty Eye in the Sky. Musi, how we feeling?
Feeling pretty good, D'Lo. Happy to be here for the Diamond Division Finals, and you and I have had a chance to watch the Heart Showers in the past, so we have a bit of experience with them. I'm really curious to see what your local thugs are able to bring to this best of 5 set. Desk was talking a little bit about how this is a team that loves to get scrappy, loves to get aggressive, find kills, but we know that Heart Showers is a team that's very much willing to play into that, kind of let that happen, let the waves wash over them with their giant whale. And I gotta ask, are you ready for some Smite Night action? Look at the way he's putting that damage down.
This is a matchup that we've seen on Snowman. The question is Kakolin ready? I know that on the desk they were saying not quite believers in the whale. Snowman's here to make you a convert. They were doing such a fantastic job shutting down Reika on this pick, and that's what Heart Showers have done. They've killed their own brothers. Heart Showers are composed of part of a team that took OSL Sparta Finals, and to get here, to get to the precipice, they had to take down their own former teammates. There's so much in terms of stakes on the line here, Musi. It's the finals of the finals. AGL, before it closes its doors, will put on one last hurrah, and Spirited Book, win or lose, will hang up their jersey. What does that mean for the mentals here in terms of how we're going to see all of that perform on the field?
It means that these teams are going to bring their A game. They're going to start with an early gank here. Look at the way the Robin blinks in.
Already big damage there, and Spirited Book gonna be the first one to fall, trying to bring that retirement early. Heart Showers with a resounding start.
And Yeet Jungle Buff, we know this guy. We watched him play, and we know that they like to get a little bit active. You know, Heart Showers as a team plays they're very textbook Smite. They're consistent, they are safe, because they know they've got Yeet Jungle Buff to make plays, to make rotations around the map. But look, Dig is gonna make rotations by himself. Can Snowman live?
Ooh, that great wind siphon ensures that Snowman does not find a way back to base, except in a body bag. Your local thugs answer back with the 1-for-1. Interesting, though, we're seeing the pressure being dedicated across the map, and now that pressure is rotating over to this BBK. Your local thugs started up. No circle of protection quite just yet. Question is, can they still manage to secure it? Your local thugs will indeed grab that first objective. Heart Showers, though, looking to try to get a bit more on top, looking for that E set. They do manage to grab the beads, but a Spirit Ball ensures you can't get the kill.
Yeesh, look at the aggression from both of these teams here. Your local thugs, with that rotation, making sure Bake Gojira isn't able to interfere with that early, Bull Demon King. It gives your local thugs a bit of a response. I think your local thugs wins out on that trade, but Yi Jungle Buff wants to find more.
Spirit Ball once again finds Mark, evade, but you're the one getting punished. Yeet Jungle Buff gets taken out, punished for their wanton aggression. Skizzy, the wild card, the new element, is throwing a wrench in the gears of the Heart Showers.
This is absolutely ridiculous gameplay that we're seeing right now. I fully expected going into this game to see some very, some chill, relaxed. We're going to keep our heads cool. This is it. This is the moment. We can't make any slip-ups, any mistakes. Instead, you want to know what's happening to their mentals? These players are fired up. They want kills. They want blood on the floor. They want every single advantage they can find. Even as Yeet Jungle Buff tries to go for that red buff, they're just trying to see what can we get when we play tit for tat. We have almost a kill for every single minute. We're only 4 minutes in. It's getting pretty ridiculous. So,
Like the schedule.
It's getting nuts. This mid lane, though, a little worried about Skizzy. That wild card gets picked up.
Ooh, stuck there, trying to get to that Marble Rivals session early. Unfortunately, Maui might be a bit late. A big landfall finds two. Typhoon finds their back at the same time. The Hurricane hits the island that Maui just pulled up from the depths, and that's going to make it 2-3 in favor of your local thugs. Starting to show that pressure on all points of the map. I thought maybe you're just going to be dedicating some visits to the solo. No such luck.
No such luck. I mean, Yamoja Wall completely cutting off Yusko's 4 there, making it so that Impunction isn't able to interfere at all. We know Desk was talking about how Impunction on this Cupid, oh my goodness, another Bull Demon King, was picked up for Heart Showers this time. What a good response. Good priorities on that side of the map. But we know Impunction on this Cupid likes the team fight. They want to use that Field of Love to try to turn off the Susano, the Kukulin, the abilities that are able to stay mobile, stay dash. That cripple, giant AoE cripple, is so crucial for winning these fights. And I do believe that Heart Showers is going to have the advantage in that team fight with that Fields of Love, with the giant island that Maui is able to pull. And when you start looking at this late game Snowman on this Bake Kujira, I do believe that they're going to have a bit of a leg up. They've got that Mystical Mail online already, which, honestly, I like it because you're able to get some extra damage just by standing next to them, but an early Genji guard is going to keep local Aqua alive and thriving. The cooldowns will be crucial there. Honestly, it's going to come down to Susanoo trying to put down this whale. Got to grab that big spear because look at the damage he does. Yusko finding a kill line. You digging me?
Oof. Can't be taking down the whale if you're the one in a gray screen yourself. Just continuing to feed the beast that is Chuck, and now the whale left liberal to try to find their own damage. Yokai's layman, but looking at a lamentable performance so far. You're not getting enough damage quite just yet. That Genji's guard, clearly Thug Aqua is not underestimating their opponent. That's just what we want to see, especially when it comes to these hallmark gods, these one tricks, if you will, that Snowman is willing to put a hell of a performance on if you let them get carried away. So yeah, you lose the fact of that defense up against the Ravana, but they're not making any rotations even so.
No, not quite yet. But once we start hitting those late game team fight stages, having that giant whale with the time dilation, more than anything, it becomes annoying to deal with because you have to make the decision, am I going to beads this? And if you don't beads it, you have to sit there slowing in time. You're going to end up taking a lot of poke from that Thoth because if you're not able to move quickly, Chuck is going to be able to slap you with the long range damage. And we've watched Chuck in the past. We got a lot of experience with Chuck at this point, Tilo.
Yeah.
We know for a fact Chuck is a shooter, right? They are on the block, driving around. They are looking for your local thugs. It's the neighborhood watch, baby. And they are on the lookout. They are going to report
Bloods.
everything that they see. It's going to be nuts.
I don't know. I think it's Chuck actually on the blood side. He's screaming out West Side while he's spraying them up with that hieroglyphic assault. That's what I think is going on, if I'm being real. But you're absolutely correct. If you leave this Thoth to free cast, you are asking for problems. Susano's going to be key, as the desk mentioned, alongside Kakulin. Dive the backline. Do not let him and the Cupid feel safe, and that's going to be your key to victory. Haven't gotten to quite see that come into play just yet. I'm expecting that Beacon fight to be a really big indicator for if your local thugs can handle the storms to come when it comes to those bigger engagements.
And if your local thugs is going to succeed in these team fights, they really need to make sure that they have somebody on bodyguard duty with this E-set. I saw this E-set pick into the Ravana, and I'm feeling a little bit of fear. Because in my mind, all Ravana does is just ult on top of E-set and kit dumps her and she dies. She does have some useful get off me tools. She's got the stun, the silence gives her a little bit of a hell shield. Of course, we have that ultimate available for this E-set so that you have this giant circle that says you can't be here or else you're going to die. But Robin can overhead kick that if they're able to time it. So it makes me a little nervous. Because now your Umoja needs to be playing Peel for your E-set because Rob's just going to jump in there. That means Maui's going to get a pull off of onto either Kukulin, or if they can find Susano, it's going to be a really good fight for Heart Showers. And Cupid's Fields of Love turns everything off. These team fights, your local thugs needs to play around the fact that their E-set is going to be target number 1. Right now, Heart Showers wants the Bull Demon King.
Gotta be able to grab it for deep discount. Nope. Problems there. You're absolutely correct. It's going to come down to playing around these dangerous picks and also playing around their abilities. You mentioned that overhead kick. Wait for that to be down, and then Skizzy can maybe feel a bit more comfortable with that Spirit Ball in pocket. And for Susano, wait till the Fields of Love have passed. Wait till they mow the grass, and then maybe you can feel a bit more liable, get some damage off in Punction, though. Not going to be able to even think about those Fields of Love. They do use it, unfortunately. Still don't make sure that they stay alive. Spirit Book hits the solo.
That's funny that Spirit Book finds the solo here, not because they're not a good player. Spirit Book's a crazy player. Chalk gets absolutely blown up by Skizzy. Oh my goodness. E-set ult. Alive here, joins the chat. Talk about damage. But Spirit Book is they're a very passive player in lane. They don't traditionally look for lane pressure. They're all about those team fights. Snowman having a team fight of himself here.
In trouble. That Typhoon's going to knock him up. The question is, can they bring him down? Yokai's Layman puts him in a bit of trouble, and now Snowman reconsiders a re-engage. Might not be the best case, as Skizzy goes down in the mid lane as an answer. Maybe there's a rebuke as an attempted response. Unfortunately, not much bite to that bark. 4-5 here, 8 minutes in. Slight gold lead going here the way of the Heart Showers, and that just goes to exactly what you were saying. I see 2 Bull Demon Kings, and sometimes, Musi, that just means more than whatever kills you put up.
Heart Showers loves to play around and confirm objectives. They are not always looking for kills. If they are ganking somebody, traditionally it's because they want to find an objective in that area. So if you see Yeet Jungle Buff ganking dual lane soon, not only is it to try to put some lane pressure back for Impunction, who got soloed just earlier, it's so that they can start setting up for Gold Fury. If Yeet Jungle Buff, or if Yusko's 4 is rotating over to that soul lane, it's because they want to try to take a look over at that Bull Demon King. Snowman's job at this point is just to put your local thug Aqua in a position where they can't fight around this Bull Demon King. And look at the damage that this Bake Kujira puts out. It's not going to stop your local thugs from grouping around that BDK, though.
Not quite just yet, and of course Circle of Protection is a great secure tool. Not good enough though. Heart Showers, show of force around this objective to take a 3rd BDK for themselves. And you know, if you're using that Circle of Protection on it and you're not coming up with the objective, Musi, that just got to feel frustrating. The vision of your composition begins to degrade.
They picked this E-set almost certainly for the ability to confirm objectives. It's a wonderful pick into Heart Showers because your local thugs is aware of how Heart Showers play. Now comes the problem. Like you said, you need to be able to time that correctly. You have to be able to lock that in. You are also fighting off Aoit's Chuck on this Thoth, and that is a character that does have solid confirm with their ultimate, but ESETS is just significantly better. It's so much easier to confirm. Spirit Ball into Chuck. What can Yeet Jungle Buff find?
Shadow Fist off the mark, so is the final judgment. Now Skizzy puts on the wiggles. Unfortunately, that chicken gets put on a kebab spit. Yuskos takes the kill. Treats on back. Heart Shower's happy, evening that kill board 5-5, keeping hope alive.
Yeet Jungle Buff. It's like I said, they didn't even have to ult though. If they can close the distance onto Skizzy on this E-set, she has nowhere to go. Much like Thug Aqua's gotta get immediately deleted by Yeet Jungle Buff. Oh my goodness. Robin is a top pick for a reason. Brawlers and Jotuns online already. The amount of damage that this character is putting out is ridiculous. It's insane. And with that 2-level lead they've got, you can imagine Yeet Jungle Buff is just going to throw his weight around wherever he can. I'm really hoping that they put some focus onto Spirited Book so that Impunction can get a chance to put themselves in a more favorable position against this on her.
That's going to be pivotal if Spirited Book is indeed the hope that we have all of our, I don't know, chips riding on in this case, and it seems to be maybe
Ruffles.
what we've got so far. This Ruffle is delicious. And so are these delicious Bastions that keep it picking up. You know, level down so far, but they're still showing force. Now, so are your local thugs, trying to steal away quick BDK. They will be able to secure that without too big of an issue. Uncharacteristic for Heart Showers to not be present around the timer. That's A-okay, though. They're waiting for the long game. That's always been their MO. If your local thugs, in this moment in time, we haven't arrived there just yet, how do we make sure the Heart Showers never get to that destination?
We keep doing what we just did on that BDK. We show up on that timer. I love the fact that they kept an eye on it the whole time. Honestly, you said it, and I'm going to repeat it. I'm surprised that Heart Showers wasn't there for that BDK because this team is so objective-oriented and focused. It's curious to me that they kind of let that go. I wonder what the grander scheme is there. But your local thugs, if they can keep that up, they can get it.
Unfortunately, can't keep this going up as they are once again down 6 feet under. Your local Thug Aqua gets taken out by the forces of Team Magma. As you see Heart Showers trying to show a force here around this objective. Looking for that beacon, looking for the big damage onto Dig. Unfortunately, doesn't quite dig that. He blinks in to go for Chuck, who takes a quick dash back to safety. Some great evasive maneuvers being shown here by the Heart Showers. Unfortunately, that's not going to be enough to quite secure this objective. You see the Maui stepping up, trying to snag in our big one. Your local Thug is going to get the better hand of that. Beacon goes their way.
But Heart Showers, they don't get the beacon. They are able to confirm that tier 1 tower over in the right side. Yeet Jungle Buff not there for the fight because they were helping out Snowman get even more pressure on to this Kukulin in that solo lane. Your local Thug Aqua having to put up with quite a bit, and especially into Snowman's Bakakujira, a god that this player is so comfortable on. It's gonna get tough to kind of deal with the mental strain of, man, there's just not too much I can do into this. If I even come close to winning a fight, I know for a fact Yeet Jungle Buff is going to be right around the corner to put me back in my place. What am I supposed to do about this? You have You Digging In Me try to throw some pressure around onto the map. As I'm asking Heart Showers to try to gank this dual lane, I want your local thugs to do the same thing. Clearly, Spirited Book is doing pretty well. Let's try to see if we can get that even more and then find a Gold Fury afterwards. Fields of Love used by Impunction.
Spirited Book in trouble. Here comes the cavalry, a typhoon, and the waves to match all the elements against them as an island is brought up. Unfortunately, Cupid is brought down, and Punction goes down first. Now Maui's got to try to flee or go back in. Why not? This man wants blood. Spirited Book's not going to give it to you. Instead, your own is going to wet the battlefield. Yuskos will fall. Skizzy taken out there by Yeet Jungle Buff, who goes in right after. Just like you said, Musi, Skizzy cannot help when they're being dove by the Ravana. Chuck, though, answers back with a brilliant final judgment. Digging Me has to fall away, and Ravana might just be safe. Yamoja tries to finish the job, but you're no carry, and the Moonstrike will be juked away. Beautiful plays here by the jungle and the mid working in conjunction.
Yeet Jungle Buff remembered to pick up their dancing tap shoes before this game started, but look at your local thugs. They're starting up this Gold Fury, but I do believe Heart Showers was able to get that BDK. I think Baki Kujira soloed it. That's ridiculous. Gold Fury falling down to about half here. I don't think anybody knows. And your Heart Showers, they used so many ultimates that last fight, fighting off your local thugs. Your local thugs gets themselves a free Gold Fury. Honestly, they come out a little bit on top there. I don't hate getting a Gold Fury for a couple of kills.
Not too shabby in their terms as far as kind of reversing what we're expecting. I'm seeing Heart Showers kind of slacking in terms of the objective presence, as well as the vision. Some of the wards have expired since, but UrLocalThugs have been doing a really good job keeping an eye out for that neighborhood watch, making sure that they can be porch pirates all they want. Heart Showers gonna grab some plunder and loot of their own with that Pyromancer and might be trying to plunder the life of Skizzy. Ahoy, matey, as the island's pulled back up and the beads are cropped up and used by the E-set to keep them safe. Circle protection as well. Each jungle buff does go in there using the Mystic Rush, but won't be punished too hard for it.
And I love the fact that Joshi was there to help peel for their E-set. That's what UrLocalThugs has to do to deal with Yeet Jungle Buff on this Ravon. Because once again, we see it. Yeet Jungle Buff tries ulting onto E-set, but because the Yemoja is there, they're able to use the waters to get the quick knock-up away. It means that they'll be able to live for a little bit longer. Skizzy, unfortunately, did use that E-set ult, though. That's going to be on cooldown. Even though Gold Fury isn't going to spawn for a bit, if Heart Showers tries to go for a cheeky Fire Giant, Skizzy not having that ult is going to be kind of tough. Doubtful, however, that they try to go for it, but with a team like Heart Showers, I wouldn't even be surprised.
Especially when the solo lane side of the map is doing so well here. This is what we expected. Snowman up a level, up a tower 2, gives them that freedom should they so please to begin rotating. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case quite just yet, but it's always nice to have that option available. Heart Showers and UrLocalThugs, the desk mentioned it, it's about displacement versus lockdown. Have we been seeing that executed on each side? And if not, where do we need to step it up?
So, I haven't been seeing too much of the displacement factor. Lockdown, I am seeing a bit of that, though. And I'm seeing it from Yeet Jungle Buff and Snowman on this Bake Kujira. The ability to just say, you are stuck. You are rooted. You are stunned against this wall. And it's been working out so well for them. Snowman, though, can he win the 2v1?
That Yokai's Lament might just be the last song you're singing as the sea shanty goes down. Snowman falls once again, just getting a bit too big for his britches, pushing up where that tier 1 used to be, and now it's where your corpse is at this moment. Heart Showers gather 4-man strong around this mid-tier 1, doing a solid job removing the structures from the map. Question is, with a Cullen diving in the back line, are you going to still be around to tell the tale? Heart Showers evade to the left. The Spear of Mortal Hatred only finds those, but Chuck trying to remain safe beneath that Salmon Leap. The waves will rise around them, but they can just easily walk away. Overhead kick comes a bit late to the party. It's A-OK, a landfall right on time into that Fields of Love. Only going to pop to hit 1. Cullen's rather tanky. Going back in, Chuck finds the stun on top of Skizzy. Finds some good damage right afterwards. They seem to want this fight. Book going to be the first one to go down. Jungle Buff takes credit for the kill. An aggressive flutter from the Cupid means more damage to come, and Pumpkin finishes the job on Aqua. A good feeds to immune the CC from that Spirit Ball, but what damage is there to follow? Skizzy staying safe for now thanks to the Emoja's support. With that tier 2 down in mid, Heart Showers making sure to just continue that objective and structured domination.
Yeet Jungle Buff taking Spirited Book off the map there lets Heart Showers surge forward and chase after UrLocalThugs. They earn themselves a tower for their troubles. And Gold Fury, they got the ping there. It's coming up in just a little bit. And a beacon, more than likely going the way of Heart Showers here too. I love the way that Heart Showers grouped up for that tower in mid too, by the way. They said, well, they got Snowman, but you know what that means? It means there's 2 people over in solo lane. We can definitely make a play here. And Heart Showers is so good at being reactive in that sense, as well as proactive, because they're able to properly respond to the pressure showing in solo lane. They see the opportunity. They start pushing forward into that mid lane and set themselves up for the Gold Fury that you know they want it. Heart Showers want every objective that you can throw at them. And as they start grouping up around this Gold Fury, you can imagine you're going to watch Yeet Jungle Buff go on this E-set on Heart Showers. Snowman's just going to clean up after the fact because this Bake Kujira is a big fat old whale.
And you see Cullen's not even there present as the Golden Fury begins, and you see Ravon begin to fight, and Ernest Skizzy once again goes down. You need some tool to try to keep the chicken safe. Her wings have been plucked. Yeet Jungle Buff does go down in trade, but Heartshowers have accomplished their mission. There's no secure left here for your local thugs. With that, the Primal Fury will go down. Cullen has arrived to the scene, finds 3 with the Spirit Mortal Hatred. Can the Heartshowers get away with their lives? Shock free casting from the back. The Fields of Love have been dropped, do find one target, but Heartshowers don't seem to have their hearts truly in this fight. Maui certainly does. He goes in aggressive. Book's gonna pay him back for that favor. Trade there as Book goes down afterwards to their opposition. And Punction takes the kill as Ayo and Chuck grabs the next thug, Aqua, on the menu. Yamoja looking to be in trouble here as the back line slowly tightens the noose around her neck. Can't juke forever. Thug Joshi goes down.
Your local thugs, they all collapsed on top of Yeet Jungle Buff the moment that they showed up on to Skizzy. But it wasn't enough. Yeet Jungle Buff accomplished their mission. They killed the E-set. That's all this guy has to do right now. Because after killing that E-set, it means Heartshowers is able to get a free Gold Fury, and then they just have to win the fight afterwards. And because your local thugs used 2 ults just to try to lock down this Ravon, it was the Susanoo ult that would have been so handy in the team fight that happened just now, but they used it to kill Yeet Jungle Buff. It loses them the fight, honestly. So without that, it lets Heartshowers utilize their comp to the fullest. Maui ult on top of Cupid ult pulls Joshi out of the fight. Pyromancer picked up by Heartshowers, because when it rains it pours, and it's raining hearts. Heartshowers, it's raining gold, it's raining pyro bombs. Duck and cover, you gotta get to a shelter. But I love how our Heartshowers is playing their comp, and I love how they're utilizing their strengths and exploiting the weakness of the fact that Skizzy needs people on top of him to protect him, and if people are on top of Skizzy, they are not on top of objectives.
Yeah, and at this point, all the objectives falling instead in a Heartshower's pocket. 8,000 gold just about their way. 21 minutes. And that's with Heartshowers, who are completely available to just be patient, wait things out. No, this time they're starting off with gas. They've got their top picks, they've got their comfort with this Bake Kujira, and they're executing on it beautifully, and they're executing this E-set, like you said, every chance they get. It's the exact game plan that you brought up, and we're seeing it put into motion so well here. Now Yamoja in a bit of danger. With that Final Judgment, though, missing the mark, considerably less so. Your local thugs able to get back to their hideout without too big of an issue, but Snowman, the Dragonborn's here to clear them out. They got a bounty from the king. With that right tier 2 going down, Phoenix might be next.
Skizzy in a lot of trouble. They're gonna get blown up by Chuck with the help of the Maui. Gonna go underneath that tower. Yamoja ult, though. Can they cut them off?
It's gonna be the Maui still stuck in the midst of the waves. They will sacrifice their life for the claim despite using that shell. Wrapping around the back here, though. Look at that. It's a big whale for your troubles. Unfortunately, that animal parade's not going to be too great for the Lion, nor the Yamoja. She goes down too, looking for Chuck, but that's not worked out for anyone. You've been weighed, you've been measured, you've been found dead. Your local thugs eat the deicide. Heartshowers now look to this Titan. They managed to get it done in speedy efficiency. These boys want to play rivals. Game 1 goes their way.
Snowman and Yeet Jungle Buff with the legendary wraparound to get behind your local thugs, and with Impunction dropping down that Fields of Love, it's like Glacier said, you can't walk here, but with nowhere else to go, your local thugs falls victim to the whale, gets swallowed whole, and Ayo, it's Chuck dealing 1,179 damage to a Susanoo. It was over before it began.
That Susanoo and that Kukulin were supposed to be their hopes, but they just never found opportunities because, like we said, anytime that Mystic Rush came out from Ravon, everyone had to sound the alarms because Skizzy was in so much mortal danger. Dude had a target on his back from day one. And that's just rough. If you don't have the Guardians of Ga'Hoole to guard your winged friend, then she's just going to die without any actual compensation. They managed to get you Jungle Buff in those trades, but that's something they were happy to do. And at the end of the day, that just resulted in too many objectives, too many towers. Slowly, their game plan fell into order.
When it comes to the next game that we see coming after this, I do believe that we need to take Ravana off the table. Clearly, we cannot let Yeet Jungle Buff run this character, especially if we want to play characters like ESET. You need to make sure that we're drafting comps that can stick next to your ESET and work around them. Because the comp that your local thugs have, while I like it, it's very susceptible to getting separated. Even though you have the Emoja there to try to like do that to the enemy team,
Mm-hmm.
Heart Showers was not afraid to split up their team and be like, okay, yeah, Yeet Jungle Buff and Snowman can go forward and do that. Chuck, Yuskos, and Impunction are just going to do this Gold Fury. They're just going to do this Pyromancer. Then we're going to
Yep.
show up to the fight afterwards, and Thoth has so much range. Chuck's just going to be like, 3-pointer, pew! And then you digging in me gets deleted off the map. Just bam, 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 done.
It's exactly what the desk said. That disruption was what the Heart Showers were going for, and the lockdown that we wanted to see from your local thugs simply never came. Maybe it just got delayed in the shipping process. Will it now come Amazon Prime fast? There's only one way to find out, Musi. Stick around, everyone. We'll be right back for Game 2 of these finals right after the break.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to game number 2 in this finals for the division, or the Diamond Division, excuse me, in the Albion Giants League. Mechanus Caduceus back here with Glacier as we kick it directly into the P's and B's this time around. No waiting at all.
Not only no waiting, but no question marks at all in my mind about that last game. Heart Showers did what they always do. We're chatting about it a little bit between games, but the differential in the map play, the levels, the farm difference, and how they were able to always turn losses into wins there was impactful. But right now we're not in the game, we're in the draft. What do Thugs do to accommodate? How do we change? Because we had some pressure in dual lane early. The rest of the map, though, just seems to fall apart. What do we do to change things is the question that Thugs are going to have to address here.
And I feel like the answer, if you really want to drag it out of me, for them, you got to ban the Rav, or if you're not going to ban the Rav, put your mid laner on something a lot safer than that E set. This Rav, all of game 1, diving on the E set time and time and time again. And if this E set does not have the space to cast, she probably doesn't have the space to play the game. But instead, the Heart Showers are going to be the team banning away the Rav.
And that's really, really interesting. They were second pick. They know that Thugs are going to take it away from them. It's a very easy to pilot character. It goes into multiple roles. Great ban. I like the adjustment. It's going to be interesting to see what direction the Thugs go in, because last game they really prioritized the E set, they really prioritized the Yemo. This game they're taking away the pressure from the Maui. They said enough is enough. Talking about the disruption that we had last game, it was too much to overcome. Even with E set being knockup immune in the one, even with Yamoja's map presence, if you will, the team fight presence, if you will, the Maui just played phenomenally. So I like them having the pseudo ban, if you will. Taking the Maui away is really fascinating, and it's going to be interesting to see what Yuskos or Adam on the Heart Shores goes over to with that Maui being taken away, because he's been spamming that pick every time it's open to great effect.
Not only do they take the Maui away, but to really compound on your point about how the Heart Showers Maui played, not only did he play a really good Maui, he played a really good counter engage Maui, something you really don't get to see a lot of. A lot of really good landfalls directly into Fields of Love. Love seeing that out of the Maui when available. And Fafnir going to be the immediate clapback from the Heart Showers, or at least potential clapback.
And it's interesting to me to see the Fafnir hovered this high. You don't have to pick your support here. You know where Maui's going. There's no other priority in support. So if you want to pick something else that's higher priority, you can. Heart Showers, however, say we're confident. We know what we're going to play. We're going to stick with the objective-focused gameplay, and we're going to grab the Fafnir. Bakasura is still open. Merc is still open. Thor is still open. I mean, I guess to a smaller degree, Lance is open. There's a lot of characters here that Yeet can play that pair well with Fafnir. The Cupid again did so well in the team fights, even though it didn't do that hot in lane. It'll be interesting to see how the Thugs say, listen, we had to deal with the Cupid last time. What are we going to change? We had to deal with a little bit more aggression than the Fafnir. So now we should have even more duo pressure. How can we play off of that even better?
One of the picks that I love for that response is actually the Shock. Something I wanted to bring up even before it was hovered, but now that it's locked in, I think that's a beautiful pick into Cupid. We talked about the Fields of Love in game 1. Don't really need to expound on that here in game 2. But a lot of people talk about Shock as this massive ult bot. He's only good for his 4 late game in team fights. He's a giant circle ult bot. I feel like he brings so much more from the solo lane right now. A lot of pressure in the early game and in the late game. Yes, 2-second silence, knock up, always going to be good. But multiple different kinds of slows out of his reign. Attack speed slow, movement speed slow, I kill you slow.
One thing that I do want to point out, with the Ravana ban from Heart Showers, this Wukong was up. The Aqua's #1 pick was up, and they decided, rather than going for that, they stuck with that chalk, the team fight ultimate. And it's very telling to me about how Thugs want to play this game. They said, listen, if we're staying on farm, we stick to our identity and we're good. Apollo's going to be a good pressure character. It's a little bit of an interesting matchup into Cupid, in my opinion. Lane ult versus not lane ult. But I will say, I don't think SB is or Spirited Book is the most meta dependent ADC player in the world, and he has been frying with the Apollo. He has been frying with like other kind of slightly B tier picks, if you will. So I like the let's play with the comfort. Let's stick with what we want, and it doesn't show jungle. It doesn't show mid. We went from ESET top pick to no mid looks at all, and now another Daji ban from Heart Showers, the Merc Lock. This is shaping up to be interesting.
I don't blame Thugs at all for not wanting to show their mid right away. When you're playing into junglers as good as are on these two teams, it can be really, really rough to try and pick your mid lane into the idea that the jungler is going to know what you're playing in mid. There are just a lot of really good mids that don't have the greatest options to get out, so can't blame a mid laner for not wanting to pick high.
But after the Thoth going as hard as it did last game, the Daji ban again this game, I wonder if Thugs don't take that Thoth away. Make them beat you on something else. That's a philosophy that I have. If you're losing to something, make them beat you on something else. The Bake was taken away, the will with the respect in bottom two. But so far we're still waiting on the last set of bans here. And I'm interested to see whether they stick more with some solo bans. Looking at maybe an Odin, maybe a other Guardians potentially that do well into Apollo picks or the mid picks that they're looking for, or if they stick with that Thoth ban.
So I would certainly imagine they're considering a Thoth ban. I also would not be there's Hun bots out of the Heart Showers banned away now. I would certainly imagine that your local thugs are, like I said, looking at the Thoth ban, but maybe planning on trapping Heart Showers onto that Thoth. Maybe taking the draft in a certain direction where they want Heart Showers to take Thoth, which in my opinion could be an interesting way to go. Just trap him on the pick.
Trap drifting is a very dangerous concept though, right? Because like the idea is we're going to give them something that we know they want for the free reliability of them having that, right? They take out Zeus instead. I've seen some Zeus players not really convinced by that pick safety. It'll be interesting to see what we go. And there's the Guardian pick from Heart Showers, the Cthulhu.
Cthulhu is a very interesting pickup here, in my opinion, especially into something like this Apollo, who's got a really, really high attack speed stim in that passive, plays Kins really well. Apollo, one of the best all-time shred builders in Smite history. I don't know if I like the Cthulhu pick here. I'm gonna have to be honest with you on that.
I think the idea is if he goes the gem build, he does outclear the chalk a little bit. And it's going to be very hard to fight. One of Fafnir's weaknesses is that Fafnir doesn't really create space. He locks down very single target focus. Cthulhu creates all the space in the world. So it's going to be awesome, and that opens the door for hunters mid as we see the Chiron hover.
Chiron hovered, absolutely, and locked in. And with the Chiron lock, I can't really say that I hate this all that much. The only question is, how much damage can this Cthulhu put out? That is a triple physical damage dealing core of Chiron, Mercury, Cupid. And I have a feeling this Maui, especially with the Mercury, probably going to be building Spectral, Mid Guardian, or a combination thereof. Just so much potential AA damage and crit damage coming their way.
A lot of Fizz defense is going to not go out of, isn't going to be bad this game for sure. But the Chiron lock into Pele Chalk is a little bit interesting. Obviously, with the ultimate, you can't die until you get your damage off. But it's, so like the Susano was last game, I want to say that this Chiron is a very volatile pick. I think it's going to do very well or it's going to do very poorly. It does have a lot of range comparatively to a lot of the other hunters that other people might go, but it does look like Morrigan either hovered or locked here, depending on our technology. It does look like the text is locked. So I do want to say no double Cthulhu in the traditional sense, but we might see two Cthulhus at once on your screen. What do you think about the Morgan matchup, specifically into this die from Heart Shores?
I actually really like the Morrigan on your local Thugs draft. I think, the potential of a second landfall is massive. Double shock silence is huge. The ability for double global rotations is always a threat. Turning into Chiron and just not dying until you get your damage off, you really have
Even the
to.
paleo, yeah.
Like there's
There's a
just
lot of good
so
rotations.
so many good, not just good rotations, but great ultimates. I mean, you can go into Mercury and all the way down the lane if you just need to be at the fight. There are so many different paths for this Morrigan to take, and it may even be the poison of selection.
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting game because Thug side is very, very snowbally. If Apollo, Pele, Morgan get ahead, they're going to have a great time. If they don't get ahead, it's going to be a bit rough. And Heart Showers showed us that they play extremely clean on the map, extremely clean on the macro. That the Ravana last game with the 3 to 4 level lead, the Fafnir who was playing Maui last game with a good lead now. Do they have as much pressure this game as they did last game? No. But if they play the map just every single bit as clean, it might be a rough game for the Thugs to get into. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's a really good game. But if the Thugs aren't ahead, they might not have too much fun this game.
You say about them needing to get ahead and playing clean around the map. Apollo, Pele, they certainly help in that regard because they can get around quickly. But you know who else gets around really, really quick? Mercury.
Gotta go fast.
And Fafnir, don't underestimate how long those leaps really are. Fafnir does have the largest leap in the game.
Yeah, that Dragon Leap is insane. Even the regular leap is good. I think the disarm into Pele also is really good. That's a matchup that not a whole lot of people know too much about. Fafnir feels really good into Pele. You shell off the ult, or you stun afterwards, or you disarm afterwards. You have a lot of tools to shut this Pele down. It'll be interesting to see if he's silenced, knocked up from the Maui, or if he's able to grief this Pele, or if he wants to do something else. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how these matchups kind of look as we start to think more about this game starting here. I do want to point out one more thing that when Mori goes invis, there are a lot of ticks if we have Oboe from Cupid, the Chiron too. If the mark's already on that, Chiron can too, even if you're invis. It's going to be really interesting to me to see if this Morrigan, I think that's what everything hinges on. Is this a Skizzy legacy game? Can he make the difference? The last time Thugs and Heartshowers played, Thugs lost. No Skizzy. Can Skizzy make the difference this game?
I do want to point a couple of things out, actually. Last game, you said Susano was a very, looking for words here, very volatile pick, and now you're saying Chiron is. Well, last game, Susano started really hot, going 1-0-2, finished going 1-3-4 after that, ending 2-3-6. So can this Chiron maybe get and stay hot? Is he going to get hot, get cold? That's another question going into this game. And as far as Fafnir griefing the Pele, yeah, people think about Pele's abilities. They forget about her auto canceling from those abilities. You know what we can't forget about, though, is getting into game number 2.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to AGL Diamond Division Finals here. Local Thugs looking for their get back after a rousing victory in Game 1 from the Heart Showers. I'm D-Lo, joined once again by Musi. We got Tess, our almighty eye in the sky, and we got 10 gods here on the field, 10 players piloting them. Musi, how we feel?
Feeling pretty good if you are the Heart Showers. Your Local Thugs, though, it's time to pull ourselves together just a little bit. I feel like they had a good amount of aggression last game. They were able to execute some solid plays, but Heart Showers kind of got the ball rolling, and they were able to confirm Gold Furies and just really just take Skizzy out of the equation. That's honestly why they were able to win that last game, because Yeet Jungle Buff just deleted Skizzy. Look at these ADCs going back and forth. You can see that your Local Thugs, even though they lose game 1, they are not even remotely afraid. They're not afraid to take fights. They're not afraid to brawl over the littlest of things. And I love that. It shows that the mental isn't shaken, and they're ready for this game too. And their comp reflects that as well. You digging in me on this Pele pick has so much potential. Spirited Book. It's going to dodge that Fafnir hammer. Is he in trouble now, though?
There was potential kill potential if that Curse Strength did find the mark. Spirited Book does stay safe thanks to those wiggles. And I'll find some extra damage thanks to that nice little reel in. Not gonna be able to find the kill, but already, like you said, finding that aggression. No ganks to come quite as early this time around. Might be paid back for that over-aggression there. Yusco's in trouble. There goes the moves, and there goes the shell as well. They split between two, some target selection necessary. There's another masterful hook, finding its mark. Yusco's having to use that longest leap in the game to get back to safety, but Pele smells blood.
Man, Spirited Book, if they hit their autos there, that was a dead Fafnir. We're level 2 duking it out in this duel lane. Our jungler isn't even around, but your local thugs, the little brawl there will earn them shield camp, some pressure. The question is you digging in me gonna make that double dip, that stick around? I wonder if hard showers kind of fall for the bait here. I don't think they do. Their comp is very safe between Fafnir and Cupid. They both have some pretty long dashes, which they're going to be able to leverage against Apollo and Maui's chase potential. And once they do jump on top of them, once hard showers comp hits level 5, it gets really tough to continue that chase because of Fields of Love. And Fafnir, which is not a name I get to say often, D'Lo, when it comes to these casts. Fafnir, with their ultimate, it's so sick. Giant Dragon, you got the stun, the disarm. It turns off Apollo, who relies so much on their auto attacks because of their passive. It's honestly solid fight for hard showers. But if your local thugs is able to get a solid Maui pluck off of a dash or something like that, it's gonna spell doom for hard showers.
No, man. Could be in a bit of a spot of bother. The rotation comes here from the Pele just a moment too late, though. Squid Monster gonna stay nice and safe. Might just be a blue invader that to suffer instead. Here so far, no kills meeting the mark, and see the jungler and the mid making the rotation. You know the call's been met as the blink begins. Snowman could be melted in just a second, finds that rushing terror to get back to safety, and now it could be the Pele in trouble themselves. Masterful shot finds two. Morgan nowhere on the scene. The Mire denies digging any way back to safety. Chuck gets first blood.
Chuck's gonna pick up that first blood. Heart Showers gonna have a little bit of a gold lead, but your local thugs was able to steal away that buff. Not a great trade, but I like the aggression. That blink from You Diggin' in Me almost puts down Snowman, but it's, of course, Snowman's gonna find a way to sneak away and live on that. Once again, rocking these Guardian solos. The sea creature theme we got going on with this guy. We like to get nautical here.
Under the sea.
Under the sea. And now we all get copyright struck and the channel is gone. It's been fun,
I'm so
D'Lo.
sorry.
All
First
it takes is
OSL,
2
now AGL.
seconds. Yeah.
Apparently. Man, we're dropping like flies here, but speaking of, it's been a bit of a slowdown pace, but what I've got my eye on is that jungler that just kind of bit the bullet there. Both of these junglers are so snowball-based. What does that mean for the game plan here on both teams? What are they going to be trying to do differently or the same in terms of game one?
So Yeet Jungle Buff is one of the more efficient farmers in AGL. We had a chance to talk with Glacier a little bit in between games, and they were like, man, that guy just farms. He's so good at farming. They're always ahead. It's ridiculous to try to deal with. And having that character play somebody like Mercury means that you're going to have all this farm. You're going to be able to get online way faster than everybody else, and Mercury's that late game hyper carry. It's going to be super tough to deal with because of the damage. Bold Demon King scooped up by your local thugs.
But can they scoop the kills right after? Here comes the volcanic lightning. Jungle buff goes down. Do the descent into madness, but Skizzy going to descend in on the field. Look at that, taking the form of Apollo to find extra damage bits as Chuck goes down, and the dive from Skizzy finishes off Snowman. The tower will claim last rights, but overall, it's a 3-for-1 trade and a BDK on top.
Your local thugs utilizing Spirit Book. Oh, that was Skizzy. That was Skizzy on this Morgan legacy Skizzy moment. I know. No. I believe you. I just saw an Apollo and I was like, oh yeah. Skizzy's invisible all the time on Morgan. How are you supposed to see them? You know. But shout out Skizzy for utilizing the Morgan ultimate immediately. The Apollo ult, the ability to have that global presence and a character that shreds Cthulhu. I think Makana's talked about it. The Apollo into the Cthulhu matchup, Apollo is able to just dump a bunch of damage, and they don't have the items online to really make it happen yet, but it's already showing a glimpse of the future, of the possibility of the team comp that your local thugs have drafted here. They have so much team fight potential, and Skizzy is the variable that can tip the balance for them, because they can be Apollo, they can turn into Mercury. If Yeet jungle buff gets super far ahead, gets all their items online, you know who else gets to be online? Skizzy. And it's going to come down to who's the better Mercury player.
Well, I'd hope it would be the jungler, but we're going to have to find out. Skizzy going to try to show their jungle chops. Having those global ultimates on pocket is so nice, and it's also nice that you're thinking ahead, being a bit more foresighted. Your local thugs knowing that Heart Showers, they play by the book. They play for that late game, so we need to have some tools in our back pocket ready for that case. 6 minutes here, 3-2. Favor of your local thugs, and gold lead going their way as well, since that objective, that first one on the mark, in their pockets now. Looking to maybe try to put the Fafnir in their pockets. He is quite small, so might be able to fit. Unfortunately, doesn't quite want to go to that destination. He's going to escape.
BDK respawns, so you know what that means. It's time to gank solo lane. Does Snowman know? They're about to find out. Here comes the jungler.
There's a Descent into Madness. Knocks up 2 off the back of it, but a Fafnir here is not going to be providing the damage you might necessarily want. I mean, look at Aqua. He's not even threatened in the slightest, as you see Fafnir just kind of jumping in the back for moral support. Now, Descent into Madness has ended, so is the fun. Meyer drops down, and the Naga gets taken by your local thugs. That's not the whole enchilada, though. We're looking for that BDK. They step up 4-man strong. Chiron's going to be a bit late to the party. And that means another one's going to go in their pocket if they can't find some sort of answer. And Punction finds one as they take down Spirited Book on the solo. Some good revenge here in game 2. Unfortunately, revenge had as well for the thugs in the solo lane. Snowman goes down. BDK as well. Taken here by the thugs. The dragon form going to enter the arena. And Chiron as well from the left side. Unfortunately, that training exercise, maybe you need to train aiming it a bit better there, Chuck, because it's a bit off the mark. And that means no kill potential for them.
I like Chuck using training exercise to free Yuskos from the pull that Joshi was doing on top of him there, and make sure that Fafnir is able to keep their damage going and they don't get pulled too far out of position by Joshi on this Maui pick, which is interesting to see Joshi on this Maui. We touched on it in Picks and Mans. Well, not me, you and me, but we, Glacier and Mechanus. With Joshi on this Maui pick, it means that Heartshowers don't get to have Yusko's rocking Maui. They're rocking this Fafnir pick, which I want to come back to it because it's so much fun for them. Fafnir does a lot to augment the damage of Yeet jungle buff and Ao's Chuck and in Punction. Even though Ao's Chuck on a mid Chiron isn't going to be using too many autos, the ability to say, hey, you get to be an ADC for a few seconds. Let's go do Gold Fury. The objective shred potential that Showers has is kind of insane, and that's very much in line with how they like to play. We talk about it so much. Heart Showers is a textbook. Let's do a Gold Fury. Let's rush a BDK, and let's just eke it out till the late game and then swallow our opponent whole. Your local thugs with this comp that they have, it's all about trying to keep them down so that Heartshowers can't have that chance.
It makes it all the more the shame, then, that those two objectives here are in the pockets of your local thugs. It's kind of like where we saw an ESET last game, and you're just not complying with the vision. Hopefully, Heartshowers in that late game where they specialize can find some different success. So far, about 10 minutes, not going quite their way, about 1,000 down at this point, and might be down to Cthulhu in a second as well, eating some serious damage there. And I see Fafnir being reeled back in. No training exercise to save. You're just going to eat a bit of poke for their troubles here. As far as this mid-game, as we begin to approach that 12-minute mark where the beacon crops up, just traditionally, which team do we expect to have the edge in terms of power spikes?
I really, truly believe that your local thugs has an advantage here, and a lot of it rests with the fact that Ao's Chuck is rocking this Chiron mid. I love the sauce. I love the flavor of Chiron mid. I do not love how it lacks safety. It lacks safety against picks like Pele and against picks like Morgan, who could become a Pele, who could become a Mercury to chase you down, who could become a Cupid to use Fields of Love to completely turn off Chiron. Because all he has is his dash and his ult, and you can wait out that ultimate. You can just kill him, right? It's not a big deal. But your local thugs, as we group around this BDK, the question is, will they be able to find a kill in addition to it? They're starting to skirt around.
All ultimates online, save for Skizzy's. That's going to be coming up soon anyway. Snowman
Whoa.
going to be the first one to receive the ganks, potentially taking this carpool lane. Your local thugs consider it at the very least, but Jungle Buff's got to consider a way to escape because Spirit of Book's on the way. It's the double onslaught here as Apollo tries to dominate the skies. The fake one does the same, doesn't quite find the mark. Instead now, we're looking for a punction as the punctuation mark at the end of their life going to be placed by Thug Aqua. The dragon does arrive to the scene. The mark finds 3. It's not quite enough damage just yet. Cthulhu tries to add on a bit more. But these magical threats aren't looking like threats much at all here as they try to ward them away as the thugs continue to pilfer and just plunder this jungle away. That purple buff gonna be stolen as well. Heartshowers just cannot find anything for themselves.
You know what they were able to find though, D'Lo? A Gold Fury. Heartshowers snuck a Gold Fury in the mid, like the way that fight started. The reason your local thugs even rotated to begin with was because Heartshowers did a Gold Fury while your local thugs was trying to find something in that solo lane. Luckily, your local thugs has Skizzy on this Morgan to Apollo ult over and give the rest of their team a numbers advantage in that dual lane, so they could try to find a little bit more. But a 1 for gold and it's not that great. Heartshowers definitely comes out on top there, and that's what they like doing. You can even see Yeet Jungle Buff now. Mercury can and will solo that BDK. Aqua though,
Ooh,
I think they stole it.
Not quite again. No, actually, no. It was Heartshowers who do manage to steal it away. Yeet Jungle Buff going to be spoiling their fun as Chuck could be in a bit of spot of bother. Solar Swing not going to find the mark thanks to that giddy up. And unfortunately, might be one left behind there. The Chiron tries to go back for their star pupil, the Fafnir, who's getting reeled slowly and does manage to get them out of that snag. Once again, thanks to that training exercise. Here's the landfall, does not find the mark in the turnaround. You digging in me, gonna be digging their own grave as they dive a bit too deep and give Chuck that kill.
And that's unfortunate. Pele had every opportunity to just walk away from that. Unfortunately, Fafnir just has the survivability in their kit to turn off a lot of Pele's damage. The ability to disarm the autos, the enhanced autos from Pele ultimate, means that he can just live for just a little bit longer. So they had the chance to kind of walk away from that and see what else in the jungle they could get. But I guess if you digging in me right now, you're trying to find whatever you can. You know for a fact that the monster that is Heartshowers is building up. You can put them down, but it's only a matter of time before they hit that late game, especially if they get Gold Furies and BDKs like the way that they do. So the onus is on you, Digging in me, to level that playing field. But you need to remember that you have to take a step back sometimes. You can't just W key everything that you see. Make sure that your team is there to back you up. Unfortunately, Joshi just got a little bit separated. Means that Heartshowers is able to survive. But your local thugs already grouping up on this Pyromancer. And I love that. Look at the subjective focus.
Fafnir also loves that. He's gonna try to focus on some kills. Manages to go in that draconic form.
Oh.
Heartshowers steal it away, actually, with it. Brilliant work here by the Dragon King. As now the Apollo rides on in on that silver chariot. Going to be able to escape back. Chuck in no danger. The Dragon might be in a bit of a different story as they look to be slain by the onslaughting forces. The training exercise, once again, saves him from the CC. You need to save yourself there, buddy. That landfall finds the mark. Cthulhu in the back, swiping their claws across Skizzy. You've lost your X Factor. You've lost the Pele, too. Their embers have been stamped out. Aqua going to be dried up as Chuck brings them down. Cthulhu loses the scent of madness, but rushes forward, trying to root them down within the mire. Solar Swing ensures you've got no escapability left. And Heartshowers is just going to try to clean this one up. Joshi goes down next. Some great body blocks ensured. Book can't find anything in response. It's a deicide at 15 minutes.
Wow, wee mama. So Heartshowers there, a few good things happened there, and a lot of it was the fact that Skizzy missing the Mercury ult onto AO's Chuck. Chiron being able to walk away from that is no bueno. Being able to pump the damage out afterwards, Snowman pulling up from behind. Once they go into that ultimate, they've got that giant AoE damage. Skizzy has nowhere to run. Little low health Morgan. They don't have a dash or anything like that to make space. All they have is their stealth, their invisibility. Heartshowers also finds a Primal Fury to go with their deicide. What an advantage that they're able to scoop up from that. And while this is all happening, Yeet Jungle Buff, we saw Mercury that fight. It wasn't Yeet Jungle Buff because Yeet Jungle Buff was busy split pushing that whole time. There's no tier 2 tower in the left side.
Where'd it go, man? Where did the level differentials go? Before it was about to, I was about to say it's 2-level differential, despite being, I think, 0-1 at that point. But now Yeet Jungle Buff, level 17 after that fight. You can see there, Tess put it on the camera. Where is the tier 2? It's gone. It's gone. David Blaine must have taken it and just made it disappear, doing some street magic for us here. But your local thugs
out for lunch.
Out for lunch. We'll be back in 20 minutes here. Taking a bit of an extended break. That guy works hard. 16 minutes, Heart Showers. Working overtime. 6,000 gold ahead. Man, the benefits are good on that team. I got to join that org. And now your local thugs just scratching their heads wondering, how the hell do we get back in this? Musi, you tell me.
So it's time to farm, honestly. Or if you can find Impunction here, Fields of Love, can he keep him alive? I don't think so.
Oh, hold on, a Sonic Boom says otherwise. You sure about that? You can't take him down as now Impunction gets the just desserts for Spirited Book. What a beautiful play by the jungler. Yeet Jungle Buff was first harvesting some nice farm, and now they're harvesting souls.
Level 19 Mercury.
You're gross.
At 17 minutes in the game.
Disgusting.
Ew. Yeet Jungle Buff. That's
Cooties.
gross. Can't do that. Look at him. He's going to go push that left side Phoenix too. This man does not care. So tragic that they weren't able to pick off that Cupid earlier too. They have... Impunction had Aegis that they use and Fields of Love. If anything, it just buys them time for Yeet Jungle Buff to just swing around the backside like he wants to do again here. This man's nuts. Look at the way he rocks around. Tier 2 pad tower in the mid lane, picked up by Heart Showers. As the rest of them are able to find more and more, because they know that Yeet Jungle Buff will just be driving around the area and be like, "Do you want some help with that kill? Yes, no?" Like.
I need some help at the moment there. 3-man Storm calling. You know what that means? If he's fed up, so is Skizzy as they take their form and take down Impunction first. There's Sagittarius to keep Chiron alive, but there's no kills available. Gets off a bit of extra damage before Chuck goes down as well. The Dragon has to flee for their life before they get shot down. And it's going to be Cthulhu dashing back to safety as well. And this is exactly what you mentioned before, Musi. If you got a Morgan on your team, any tools you've got can be wielded against you. Now Yeet Jungle Buff trying to prove they're the OG for a reason. Might look to solo down a Pyromancer. Might look to escape with their own life, buddy. You could be in a bit of trouble trying to find their way to dash back to safety, or maybe lead Thugs on just a wild goose chase. They instead decide to dedicate their attentions to that Pyromancer. To see Jungle Buff prepare for a haymaker of an ultimate. Cthulhu decided to try to buy their attention for now and just waiting for the stars to align, but you can't wait for too long. Here comes the CC and the damage on top. Now Jungle Buff in trouble. You waited for so long that your time never came.
Unfortunate. They almost got completely blown up, but Cthulhu is able to peel for Yeet Jungle Buff. Your local thugs just barely lacking the damage to be able to put them down. I felt for a moment that Yeet Jungle Buff was going to be able to distract your local thugs away from the Pyromancer, but your local thugs is able to scoop it up for themselves. They are able to group together, but it means that Heart Showers wants his Fire Giant. Aqua blinks in, and the Fire Giant's dropping down low, but are they just going to leash it? Or can they find it? They're going to leash it. Heart Showers not ready to commit to that FG yet. What a good showing by Aqua there. It takes a lot of guts to walk up to 4 people like that and say, no. No, you don't get to do this. My name's Shock, and I'm telling you now. Yeah, pipe down, kiddo. Sit down.
Now your local thugs trying to cause some noise over in this left side. Maybe trying to do them a bit more discreetly. You do see Jungle Buff is on the scene. That guy can arrive in a flash. Uber Prime here on the scene. Not gonna be able to find it though. Your local thugs grab that Oni Theory and now they just try to get back to safety before Mercury catches on up. So far, able to do so very successfully. A great objective call there by the thugs. Now 20 minutes. 7-11 here. And for your convenience, Mercury gonna blink into that back line with that ultimate. Beads is away from some of that extra CC. Book gonna go down first, but Pele counters back with an ultimate of their own. Apollo joins the fray. The shell popped, the Field of Love dropped, but no more members are gonna be added to the body count quite just yet. Draconic Form enters the field. And your local thugs fear the beast that lies within as they try to jump to cut off their escape. No one around that to back up the Guardian means that they're just gonna have to slink back to safety.
I don't mind that trade for your local thugs. Spirited Book gets picked off, but they are able to lock down Yeet Jungle Buff, which is huge because that dude's huge. They have so much farm. You just want to stop Yeet Jungle Buff from being on the map anywhere at any time. Unfortunately, Heart Showers and Punction, Cupidol, the Fields of Love. Man, this guy is nuts when it comes to using this ultimate because it stops your local thugs from being able to chase after AO its Chuck, even though Joshi tried to get that Maui ult. It doesn't matter. And Yuskos was able to get some Fafnir damage off inside that Fields of Love because of the giant Mez. I love the way that Heart Showers uses their comp and abuses every strategy that they can from it. But something has to be said for the way that your local thugs is able to stay on top of these objectives.
Absolutely.
They're able to get a Pyromancer, and then they're able to get the Gold Fury. It's going to keep them in the game a little bit longer. That's how they have to play, because they don't really have it in them to win the full 5v5. Not right now. Not until they get some more gold. Aqua, Merkle down, and here goes Shock.
Thrown up against the lockers, but the special delivery will not quite find any additional damage. Now, piecemeal, they start to enter on in. Pele and Apollo join the fight in earnest. Jungle Buff goes down, but You Dig in Me explodes right after. This fight's been deforested. The Fields of Love have been dropped, and Fafnir lurks in the wings trying to find opportunity to join on in, as Impunction goes down thanks to a copy Mercury ult as a commemorative performance there put up by Skizzy. Snowman goes down. Joshi trades their life. It's a 3-for-3 so far, and Aqua is quite low. The rain dance begins, and it's gonna be 2-tapping on Chuck's corpse. The Chiron goes down, and only the dragon remains. They try to fire off some breath off their belly. It's not gonna be enough. Skizzy finds the triple kill, finds the deicide. Your local thugs answer back.
Skizzy making full use of that Morrigan ultimate, transforms into Apollo and just tilts the battle entirely in their favor. What a brawl that we just witnessed, and really highlighting the fact that Skizzy knows what's going on and knows how to react with their team. Your local thugs, Aqua is able to live long enough because of Shock ult and the sustain that he has. It keeps Heart Showers in place for just a bit, and I love the way that your local thugs is able to collapse onto Heart Showers when they try to make big plays like this. I just said that they don't win the 5v5, but they weren't fighting a 5v5. They were fighting like a 3v4 and then a 5v4 because of the way that they are able to rotate to fights. And then once you level the playing field a bit, your local thugs absolutely has the capability to win these fights. Even though Snowman is just rocking and rolling with this Cthulhu, the AoE damage that they put out is just a lot. Shout out Snowman, because they almost won that fight for Heart Showers. But Skizzy's just kind of on it right now. Real. Like, Skizzy's just a monster.
It's exactly what we asked for from Skizzy, to use those tools against them. And you can see your local thugs are putting a lot of that respect on what Heart Showers are capable of as they gather around this Primal Fury. Look at the Maui's defensive build. It's all physical. And if that Cthulhu's not doing enough damage because it's building tank, then you're just not going to be chewing through that Sov, chewing through that bod. Now they're trying to chew through the health bar here of this objective. Can they secure it? Heart Showers steal it away, showing that they are by no means out of this fight quite just yet. Jungle Buffs arrives to the scene. The beads forced out by Book. The Dragon goes in the back line. You need Cthulhu to back you up to set into madness, but there's no other damage to follow as Yuskos falls down. Jungle Buff has been wiped away by Diggin as Pele looks to try to cause havoc in the back line. Chuck will not let them as they counter the kill on top of her. Now Cthulhu trying to chase down here Spirited Book. The carry stays alive, not for long enough, and Punction finds the double on the duo lane. And now Shock trying to find a bit more, and Punction will find their end to Skizzy's blades. It's gonna be a 3-for-3 once again, and it seems that both teams are happy to lick their wounds.
Yuskos jumps in onto your local thugs, but they got a little too separated from the rest of their team. It let your local thugs turn around. Skizzy and Aqua, as well as, you know, Joshi, Spirited Book, it just dumps the damage into Yuskos on this Fafnir in the back. While all of this is happening, You Diggin' in Me solos Yeet Jungle Buff. That is a shift. That is a huge shift for your local thugs, because if you're able to put down the guy that has been kind of dominating these team fights and being just the biggest nuisance in the world, if your jungler is able to say, no, I got him, that's a mental shift. Your local thugs is going to be feeling themselves right now, because not only have they found some objectives. Now they're finding winning fights. As long as they can keep this momentum going, they'll be able to catch up to Heartshowers. Unfortunately, they do have to respect Heartshowers' ability to secure objectives. Losing Gold Fury did not have to happen there. If they just got off the Gold Fury and jumped on them instead, I wouldn't have hated that. Mercury, the fist that he throws out, his first ability, it comes out so quickly. Trying to out-secure that is very difficult, and when this Mercury has Rage Deathbringer online, he is almost assuredly going to crit that. The crit chance is already so high, and it does so much damage. That's not something you want to try to contest, right?
Yeah.
We don't have to contest it. Just jump on him. Because if you jump on him, he can't dash away if you're able to body block it. He has to charge up his ult. He won't get very far if he rips it right away, so that gives you time. Just blow him up. He doesn't have prots. Just kill the man.
Especially when you have those pyro bombs in pocket, you might as well drop for the purpose. Might just be saving them for a rainy day or potentially this FG, Spirited Book. Their life won't be saved. Yeet Jungle Buff solos him down beneath the Phoenix. Shock making the rotation to try to ward them off, but you see the rest of Thugs fearing what may come as Shock tries to be the bulwark of defense against them. And now they pull away from that FG, leaving the Shock. You've got a lot of faith in your solo to try to take down this raid boss as Jungle Buff starts to punch him in the face. Good grid win to keep him alive. That shield might do enough to keep him safe as Pele will not be doing the same for their opposition. 2 members already off. Skizzy dies in the backline as Snowman finds them inside the ult. Pele able to just manage to scrape away, limping with their wounds as the dragon tries to pursue that Maui to the ends of the earth. But these magical damage makers are just not going to be doing enough to take down that tank. I don't care how many physical prots he has, he's still a tank.
Your local thugs. What an excellent job stopping that split push that Yeet Jungle Buff was doing. Heartshowers loves their split push. They love to try to pull the attention of the enemy team towards an objective that they want to start foe looking at. They'll take it if they can, but they kind of like ping around Fire Giant, Pyromancer, be like, oh, hey, look, we're over here, while Yeet Jungle Buff tries to stealth steal a Phoenix. And while Yeet Jungle Buff is able to get that 1v1 kill against Spirited Book, Chalk is just so tanky, so healthy. And while the Reigns can't slow Mercury too much, because Mercury does have that slow immune attached to the second ability, he is able to just sit there and be like, no, I'm not going to die. You can punch me, but I'm fine. I'm just going to kite you. I'm just going to heal. I'll ult if I have to. And if you play this game for too long, I will kill you. You dig it in me, because they don't have to worry about Yeet Jungle Buff counter-engaging on their squishies, Pele could just full dive onto a Cupid and a Chiron very easily. They're not going to go anywhere. They're going to get knocked up and deleted. Heartshowers need to start grouping together. We might have to ditch this split push strategy and start trying to win fights as a 5v5. Heartshowers will find the Oni Fury, though.
They already got the Pyromancer too, so all the objectives now in their pockets, 1 for 2 in terms of the bombs that we stand, and we haven't gotten to see them really get put to good use quite just yet. All eyes on this FG, and in 1 minute, we know what it becomes. EFG will be in the game. And at that point, that's got to be what might just decide it all. These teams have shown they are very willing to go full tilt into these team fights. As we start to look towards this grand objective, what do you think is going to be the deciding factor for each team?
So Heartshowers, while they mac magical damage in a team
lovely.
fight. Yeah, you like that? It's pretty good. While they lack magical damage in a team fight, the amount of raw clear they have for objectives is very significant. Fafnir, Chiron, Cupid and Mercury is a combination of the century. If this Mercury decides to join, now he's just gonna go check out that left side lane. You can see though Aqua just standing there like, you want to do this again, man? I will sit here. I don't care. I have teleport. I'll be fine. Heartshowers, they want to find a fight though.
Skizzy gonna be the first one off the mark. Fire Giant already forgotten as the dragon enters the arena and Cthulhu descends into madness, but Chuck might descend to the grayscale first. Diggin takes them out once again, and Pele's just too mobile to get blocked down. Apollo in the skies now doing victory donuts before they land back in the chaos. Cthulhu descends back down as Impunction will get taken out. It's a triple kill onto Use Ghost as well.
Is Jungle Buff gonna
Pele looking for even more. In the meantime, though, what the heck is going on? Someone stop that Mercury. Snowman will go down for a quadra kill. And the last hope, you can back quickly for the Penta if you want, Pele, but it seems the rest of the team's got you covered. Yeet Jungle Buff pays for their sins.
Dude, what in the world? A quadra kill for you digging in me. When Yeet Jungle Buff isn't there, it's you digging in me's playground. This whole map is their mess and they're gonna make it however they want. I genuinely thought though that Yeet Jungle Buff was gonna end the game there, but a quick and decisive back from your local thugs is gonna put the halt on that, and they're gonna start up this EFG Heart Showers. What happened, man? Why aren't we grouping up as 5? Sure, we get that left side Phoenix, and sure, we put some damage on the Titan, but clearly we are not winning these team fights. Aqua making that teleportation over, gives them the numbers advantage. EFG. Oh, okay, I say EFG claimed by your local thugs. It's in their game, it's in their game. How? What can they do with it?
Well, they got everyone on the mark. They got ultimates on standby. No Gold Fury quite just yet, but it will be rising soon alongside that Pyro. You can see Heart Showers, though, trying to make some standings around it to ensure they can't get maximum value. They did use one of their bombs in these skirmishes, so they don't want to provide another one and make them a true flight risk. 31 minutes, 22-21. Kills nearly even Stevens. Gold, not quite the same, 4,000 in favor of the Heart Showers, in fact. But the fights are just spelling better for the thugs because of what you said. We're not grouping up, and at some point, pride has to go away. We need to stick to the textbook. I don't know why we're going off base here. We're homeschooling. Heart Showers are trying to go off of the beat, and it's not quite working out their way.
And your local thugs is utilizing their comp to the fullest. They are abusing the fact that Yeet Jungle Buff is not here. Because Heart Showers, all their damage lies inside Chuck, Impunction, and Jungle Buff. If Yeet Jungle Buff isn't there, all you digging in me has to do is just dive on Chuck and Impunction and kill them. And then it's a one fight for your local thugs because they have magical damage and physical damage to be able to split up. They don't have the problem of, well, they built 3-4 protection items. Maui, they have an Eldritch Dagger now, but
nice.
They still sitting on so many prots that they don't have to worry about anything that Chucker and Punction does. So, honestly, we just Heart Showers just need to fight as 5. I feel like if they fight as 5, they win fights and then the game's over. The moment they start doing that, it shifts. But your local thugs, now that they have EFG, now that they've had a chance to kind of catch up, they've been behind 4K Gold pretty much the whole game. This is not a scenario that they're unused to at this point. And Yeet Jungle Buff is going to be most of that gold difference, I'm willing to bet, because of the way that they farm. Just because Heart Showers is 4K Gold above, it doesn't mean that it's because everybody else is super farmed. Yeah, look at Yeet Jungle Buff. They are most of the lead. And you know who's right behind them? You digging in me. And that's gold well earned because of quadra kills and double kills onto the DPS from Heart Showers.
Beacon on the mark here for local thugs applies a bit more pressure. Those tier 2s still standing before they turn their attention to that Primal Fury. And I like what you're saying here. The fact that the thugs not really caring as they grab that Primal Fury about this gold deficit because they've proven to themselves and to everyone watching that gods can bleed, that Yeet can die. He's done so 4 times now, and we haven't gotten to see him really participate in these fights. Maybe a bit of fear showing. Does not want to see what happens when they go square for square, mano y mano. They do start to look for a second split push, this time on the right side. Phoenix, the less favored bird. Left one's back up, and the Titan's nearly at full health. These contributions the Mercury's having, you're getting a bit of a distraction, sure, but at the end of the day, it's team fights that win the game. It's 5 members on these teams, and if everyone's not present, then you're gonna be absent from class.
And Heart Showers, it's time to take a look at the board. I'm drawing diagrams, I'm making the circles, the equation is up there. 4 + 1 = 5. 5
What?
equals W. I know! Did you drop out of school? You're not a math person, that's why you're a caster.
Bingo.
C2 is the math person, C1's like the English person. Like a history
I'm
major.
a humanities student at heart, and that's why I'm just staying away from that music. I leave the gold. I'll say the gold numbers, and then everything else is yours. You got it. 3,000. That's what they're headed by, right? Yeah.
Yeah. 3,069. Oh, well, and we're almost there. And Yeet Jungle Buff, I do appreciate that while I don't think that this split pushing is working for them right now, it has shown dividends before. And when you're Mercury, you are able to get these easy pushes. Maybe push a little bit, act like you're gonna push, lull your local thugs into that false sense of security. You've established a pattern. Now's a great chance to break it. Because your local thugs is expecting that split push. They're like, all right, Yeet Jungle Buff is probably gonna push left. Maybe we can get a preemptive fight here, preemptive jump, and just have Yeet Jungle Buff around the corner like, haha, I have deceived you. I have lulled you into a pattern and I have broken it and now you will die. But he'll just join it right away. Look what you can do when he's right there. Mercury does so much damage. Pyromancer picked up for Heart Showers. FG is respawned.
EFG is in the game. I love this idea. Keep Jungle Buff in here. I lied. Put your clothes back on. I'm here to take down you and take these champs. As 36 minutes in, we see Apollo rise to the sky, land back in. Heart Showers take their life and take the EFG. What more can you find? The shell falls on top of the Cupid, but they will fall shortly after. Diggin gets shut down by Chuck. Skizzy gets popped in the jaw by Jungle Buff, and Cthulhu rains damage the entire meantime. Landfall finds two, but it's a triple kill there for Jungle Buff and a double there for Chuck. They steal the Quadra, but I don't think they're too upset for it. Your local thugs eat the deicide, and Heart Showers stroll up mid lane.
Look at where Aqua was standing right when that fight started. They were over by that left side Phoenix because they genuinely thought Yeet Jungle Buff was going to make that push again, but they broke the pattern, and that wins them the fight. The 5v5 they can easily win. They'll have the Titan as just desserts. Heart Showers, that's game 2, baby.
Ayo, it's Chuck, dives into the fountain to wash the blood off their hands. Your local thugs, their backs against the wall as Heart Showers look for the sweep.
That's nuts. And Yeet Jungle Buff, we put so much emphasis on like, man, really wish this guy would group up. Now we know why they weren't grouping up. Their full power, their full potential is too much. It's too much for mortals to bear. You have to try to keep that to a minimum. They immediately are able to scoop up that FG, and your local thugs, they had a good showing to try to have a response in that fight to take down what they could. But because Aqua just wasn't there in time, they had to teleport over and then walk up. It's too little, too late. Even finding like whatever damage they could put on, it was just lacking. They weren't fighting the 5v5. They were fighting the 4v5, and they get swept because of it.
It's genuinely, it's so funny. It's like, you can't put them together. Jungle Buff's like, no, you don't understand. I'm doing this for the good of the entire world at stake. Jungle Buff knows that if they decide to do the fusion dance with the other 4 members of their team, the Big Bang will happen once again and the universe is going to be reset. No AGL Finals for us. I mean, it came down to these jungles. We talked about it since the beginning. They're both snowball-oriented, and I gotta say, I think Diggin did a hell of a job. It just wasn't enough. Why was that?
So, Diggin was able to put a bunch of damage onto AO Chuck and Puncture. They were able to turn them off. Unfortunately, it literally did come down to the fact that once Heart Showers had their other DPS available, you, Ding and In Me, can't do it all. They weren't able to shut down everybody. And because of that, Heart Showers gets the chance to turn a fight around. It means that your local thugs can't just all in. They have to try to contend with the fact that Mercury is going to be going on to Skizzy, going on to Spirited Book. And when they try to turn around to deal with that, Heart Showers has Snowman on this Cthulhu and Yusko is on this Fafnir to just dish out damage and CC, control the area, the space. It's just not quite there for them. They lacked the overall damage that they needed, whereas Heart Showers just has it in spades.
It's so sad, especially given the fact that Maui like wearing every vest, mama's best, you know, all the sweaters that mom made for you, she knit by hand, just got him one after the other, can't even hear his voice, it's muffled beneath all those jackets to defend up against all that physical damage. It just did not matter because the damage that they were providing just punches right through your mail armor. You got to get some Kevlar or something, modernize your defensive tools because They're playing 4D chess here on the Heart Showers. Can they get that third victory, though, that gives them the sweep and the championship title? There's only one way to find out. Stick around. Right after the break, we got more AGL Finals action.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Game 3 of the Diamond Division Finals here in the Albion Giants League. Mechanus Cadesius back here yet again on the desk with Glacier as we get set up after game number 2, and what a back-and-forth affair that turned into.
That was such a good game, in my opinion. Like as a coach main, if you will, or a support main, I really liked the back and forth. I really liked the fact that it wasn't just a chokehold. The whole game could go either way, and it was decided off of like what 3 mistakes, or 3 good plays, depending on which side you're on. Right? It was a fascinating game, and I thought it was such a good one to watch. Um, in terms of analysis, in terms of seeing things, I loved what the casters brought up. The 4v5 constantly, the 4v5 constantly, the 4v5 constantly, and then flipped it on its head. I loved that so much, Mac. What did you think?
To your last point here first, that was an absolutely gorgeous call by the one and only Musicland. But to your first point, saying 3 mistakes or 3 good plays, depending on which side you're on, I lean more toward it being just 3 really good plays, because when you're looking at it, let's say from that Shock's perspective at the end of that game, right? You had this Mercury running down left lane, trying to end the game over and over and over and over.
Mm.
And you have TP in your back pocket, like, okay, I can be at that fight anytime they need me. I'm going to wait to see this Mercury as we load into picks and bans, trying to continue what has been happening in this set so far, trying to continue the excitement moving forward, but to continue that fight, as it were. And that Shock, just a moment too late, that Mercury never there. I think that was just beautifully played by Heart Showers. I don't want to take that away from them, as Discordia gets taken away from them instead.
Discordia Camels. Now here's the question: backs against the wall, Thugs. Get the broom out or go home. Start the reverse sweep or you're done. This is the last AGL season for the time being. It's over if this game doesn't go well. Do they switch up their bans? If I'm them, I'm looking at potentially throwing more bans at this. I don't want to call him a AA2 trick or a 3 trick or however many AA characters there are, but his impact cannot be denied. He was 0, 1, and 2, and he was level 20 at 17 minutes that game. Yeats, it looks like on paper, if you just look just numbers, the Pele did so well. But then you look at the map and it tells more of the story.
Especially, we I don't think we talked about this as much game 1. There were other things to talk about, but I'm sure you did, but the wording from Heart Showers between both games 1 and 2, the complete domination in vision on map.
Now, this is an interesting third ban. I want to point this out. We're not letting Impunction have Cupid again. I didn't think that was the story of the game last game, but Thugs say, listen, if it's worked twice, let's get it out of here. That's going to leave some interesting picks up, though.
I don't hate it, though. It's a great way to kind of change up on Heart Showers. It's probably unexpected, too, because, we talked about it in game 1. Cupid is not seen as a traditionally strong pick, so it's probably not seen as something that's going to catch a ban. So if you're trying to trick Heart Showers up, if you're trying to maybe kind of reverse uppercut your way into a win here in game 3 to build some momentum, I don't hate that ban. In fact, I think it could be sneaky good.
I love it because the whole Heart Showers idea is one of 2 things. Either we're going to group death ball, I'm going to play objectives better than you, or we're going to do the opposite. We're going to let Yeet push the entire map while we just have no-go buttons to where we can escape from team fights and we don't get wiped, right? And getting the Cupid off the table takes one of those no-go button options away, one of those huge team fight ults away. And the Cupid has been playing well. I'm not going to say that he wasn't playing well last game. It just that wasn't the main focus of the game for me. So it's a very fascinating ban. This Chalk being locked is no surprise. At one point, I looked up, he was involved in every single kill except for one. He played phenomenally last game. Did he get caught in the jungle buff split push trap? Yeah. But I cannot tell you how many times it's happened in scrims, in games. It is not easy to play against, and sometimes there isn't a correct answer. I do like this chalk coming back though, because he played it phenomenally.
He played it phenomenally, and as you pointed out, sometimes there is just no correct answer. When there is someone like Mercury running down your lane that can do 700 damage a pop to your Titan, you are forced to respect that. He was, in my opinion, kind of forced to be in that position. I don't hate the pick at all. I also love the duo lane showing from Heart Showers, actually. The Maui Jablonke duo, if you want to talk about no-go buttons, how about no eyes?
Yeah, I can't see my favorite combo of all time. Second favorite combo of all time. First being Nua alt. That's gonna be. I don't want to say just as good because it's different, right? It's not the same. It's not good or better or worse. It's different. But we talk about no-go buttons. That's one of them.
And of course, game one, Maui using his ult the entire time as a giant no-go button. There were ults where it traditionally we call them missed ultimates because Maui hasn't knocked anybody into the air, but instead he's locked off a particular area like a giant Ymir wall. I love the way he
Mhm.
played it in game one. I can't wait to see him bring it back in game two.
Chills.
And the thugs
Chills.
going to the Jing way. Oh boy.
It's over. It's over. I don't win or lose. It's over. SB brought it out.
What a pick. I mean, we talked about it in game one. Neither of these ADCs are keen on pushing and getting pressure early on. They want to play for that late game. They want to play for their spikes. Jingwei can be very, very terrifying from that angle, and Tsukiyomi could be a very interesting pickup here.
And Jingwei is also one of the safer ADCs. Suku, though, throws safety to the wind. Suku is an all-in, I will kill you or I will die, or I'll kill you then die character. But a character that Thugs have been banning on cooldown is Amaterasu, and it's not banned, it's not picked, it gets through to, sixth pick overall? And now Snowman gets, for months, one of, if not the best characters in the game. Now, they've seen a little bit of a fall down the tier list, maybe, but this Ama is such a good character, and to get it this low in the draft is phenomenal for Hout Showers. I'm gonna be honest, this Suku and Jing hints of desperation here. Thugs need to make a change, not just in the draft, but in the play style. They need to be the proactive force. They need to be the guys deciding when and where the game happens. And that's something that last game we saw them not do. We saw them get EFG and then turtle to make sure they didn't get split pushed. We need to see them anytime they get an opportunity, just like Heartshowers did in game one, use it to chokehold the map. And it's going to be really interesting to see how the rest of this draft goes out. Support bans from Heartshowers, jungle bans from Thugs. Where are we going next?
I love the jungle bands from Thugs in particular. I want to point that out. Just because the Mercury, the Bakasura, we just saw what he was able to do on the Mercury. We've been praising that for a while now. I do love the Thugs bands here. And if I'm the Thugs, next thing I want to go into, I want to give my mid laner as much open availability. What are they looking at? I'd be picking my support right here if I were in those shoes. I'd be trying to look maybe towards something that is better appealing. I would look at the Ganesh, especially with the Thor locked in. I'd be staring at Ganesh.
Speaking of chills, though, Yeet on Thor gives me nightmares, man. Not chills, nightmares. That he is so good with this global or semi-global, I should say, pressure. It's a character that he has piloted successfully for forever. But talk about backs to the wall. Skizzy pulls out the raw, so it does look like a Suku jungle. And last pick here is going to be the support for Thugs. I really like your Ganesha shout. It looks like a lot of the other Peel characters are taken off the board with the Geb de Kepri. Yamoja's still open, but Maui and Thor can kind of pick on it, get out of the thing a little bit. And that's not a pick that I've seen for a minute.
Athena, definitely a very good pick. I know you and I have had conversations before about how easy it is to play Athena. Dash taunt, dash taunt, dash taunt, blink taunt, dash taunt. All you gotta do, dash taunt. This Athena is certainly a pick and not one to be taken lightly. You want to talk about ways to get rid of the store's ability to play. He's reliant on his abilities to get in, to get his damage out. I mean, he may be, good with Hydras, but Hydras is good because of his abilities and auto canceling. Athena can really shut that down. I love this pick out of their support. I may have preferred the Khepri at first, but I think I've been swayed by the Athena.
Yeah, and I want to point out this Athena isn't about just a taunt, it's about the ease of access, right? The entire team knows exactly how you're going to play. You're going to look for the taunt, and we're going to taunt into the Raw Beam, we're going to taunt into the Jingwei knockup, we're going to taunt into the Suku Poke, we're going to taunt into the Chalk Ult. It's simple. It's easy to play. We're not trying to pull off Yamoja. We're not trying to pull off crazy Maui like phase trick shots. We're just backs to the wall. Let's make it easy to execute. But we saw a Zeus ban last game. This game we saw the Merc ban instead, and that leaves the Zeus open. How much protection die frontline space making does the Zeus have for it to free cast this game?
So as far as space to free cast, I don't know if he really has that much. Maui pulls people in, doesn't push people away, pulls them in, which is great for getting your opponent's out of position. It's also really good considering the way this Maui decided to play in game one, where he was pulling people into the fields of love. Now has a much more devastating ultimate to pull people into. So I'm very interested to see if this Maui is pulling people in before the ult is out, or if he does the same thing as in game one, pulls them while the ult is ongoing.
And I think that switch up is really impactful too, because the left side doesn't really have a whole lot of ability to say, no, you can't do this to us. Suku's an all-in character. If you all in on him first, it's hard. Athena only has the one CC ability, and then she's not that relevant. Ra is similar to the E set, a very easy character to dive. It's going to be really interesting. Once again, before we get into the game itself, I just have one more question for you. Are you getting the broom out, or do you think this one's going to be another tough game for the Thugs?
I think either way, this one's going to be a tough game for the Thugs, but they got to get the broom out if they want to keep it going. We won't know if they're breaking brooms or grabbing brooms without getting into game number 3.
Thank you, Desk Duo, and welcome back, everyone, to AGL Diamond Division Finals match point between your local Thugs and the Heart Showers looking for the clean sweep. I'm D'Lo, joined here by Musi, and if the desk said anything, it's that this comp proves to us one thing. Your local Thugs do not want to go gently into that good night. They're here with a statement. We are going to die with a weapon in our hands.
And they've chosen their characters to match that mentality. Spirited Book, their potential last game on their favorite god, Jingwei here. It has come to this. It is this moment, this game, right now. Do you have it in you to drag out 2 more after this if you can find that victory? You have to get this first game to even begin with that. And they've drafted a comp to help them do that. Lots of dive potential from your local Thugs. They are looking to kill, and they're looking to kill with brutal efficiency. We're talking, like Makana said, blink taunt, dash taunt. Joshi wants to find big things for Skizzy on this Ra. These are players that have a lot of potential. They are very volatile, they are aggressive, they are ready to fight. But Heart Showers, these are the players that have been winning and winning and winning, and they do not stop. It does not matter how many times you put them down. It does not matter how many small objectives you take away from them. Once that timer crosses that 20-minute mark, it's over. They find a way to just squeak a win out. But your local Thugs, they want to start it off on the right foot. You Diggin' in Me is looking at Duo.
This could be dangerous. We see solo lane seeing similar pressure, but local Thug's going to begin with those caltrops placed down, slowly poking them to death. Yuskos going to eat the first blood. Meanwhile, in the right lane, a Torrent ensures that Aqua does not meet the same fate. Your local Thug starting off swinging.
You Diggin' in Me, your local Thug Joshi. What a great combination of CCs to chain together. You cannot run away if you're both taunted and stunned, and the Caltrops there too, taunting them through those Caltrops that Tsukuyomi's able to put out. It's just extra damage stacked on top of that. The shell was used from Yusko's 4 there too, which opens dual lane up to another potential gank. But look at where Udingen and me is positioned. Zeus doesn't have a lot of options to get away from Tsukuyomi. So there is potential for Udingen and me to find even more. As Heartshowers groups around this mid camp, UrLocalThugs, I want to see what they can do.
So far, they decided to just let it breathe a little bit. No sense in getting a bit too aggressive so far, especially when we don't have level 5s on hand. Maybe dashing in aggressively as Solar Swing to match this dual lane is proving to be scrappy already. Book going to aggressively move in and then passively dash back to safety. Once these ults come online, though, I love what the desk said. UrLocalThugs, it's simple. It's comfort. It's grandma's chicken soup on a rainy day, and so far, storm clouds have been hanging over UrLocalThugs' heads, so this is just what they need. It's the last meal at death's row, and you're just hoping for an appeal to play another game.
The death penalty has not been legalized in all the states. We still got some where you can avoid that fate, but much like young adult dystopian novels, you gotta fight for it. Chuck. Oh, not gonna go down. The last spawn from AO, it's Chuck. Getting a little too antsy. We're getting a little too much. Thor ult 2.
Oh no, Ra forced to use the bees, not even necessary. The searing pain gonna find no one. Only ghosts are being hit, and Skizzy might be turned into one in a second. And Athena ult though comes through, not gonna be enough to save Skizzy as the Berserker spin takes them down. The reach though going to poke Yeet Jungle Buff in the backside and find the trade jungle for mid.
But that is a statement from Heartshowers. That is saying, hey, you can't just walk around and do whatever. We won the last 2 games for a reason. It's because we're better. It's because we are on it. You can't just put us down. You think you can play your best players, your best characters, and just walk over us like we're nothing? You got to earn this. And I like the fact that Ao's Chuck was walking up, ready to assist Yeet Jungle Buff if it came to it. I was really expecting UrLocalThug Joshi and Skizzy to turn around. That was an easy kill on Zeus potentially there, but they don't go for it. UrLocalThugs instead, looking at this PDK, the early objectives, can Heartshower stop it?
Mjolnir's attunement, but it's only range damage means that one's going to fall firmly in favor of UrLocalThugs this time around. Now potentially looking towards that solo lane. Speaking of Snowman, on this Amaterasu, no longer going to be rocking any magical damage. What can we expect to see from her as she moves in aggressively? Might be expecting here to see her go down as we see a solo battle here between the carries as well. Ult for ult goes down. Snowman taken out by their brother. Sorora side committed by Tsukuyomi.
Yeet Jungle Buff doesn't have ultimate to contend with it, but it is still a slower. It is still Yeet Jungle Buff. Digging to me doesn't have the mana to fight. Thor's going in, and Yusko's right behind them.
Low mana here, and just going to use the last of it to try to get away with that Kugasari. Oh. There goes the landfall, pulls back into, and Thor comes crashing down as Digging in Me goes down once again. Chuck rotates just to be getting a bit of a participation trophy, and Ra just has to watch in horror. 3-3, Spirited Buck goes in, and that Jaguar Rising going to go right back out.
Heartshowers, Yeet Jungle Buff. What a good rotation there. And a great way to just stop Udingen and me from moving around too much, because he was stalling for his ultimate to come up and chaining Thor ult and Maui ult together. Maui picks everybody up and just says, all right, everybody group up for Thor ult, and Yeet Jungle Buff just slams right back down. Luckily, UrLocalThug Aqua is able to get away. Chalk has a lot of survivability, and they do have some early prots online. They got the heal that they can use. But you asked earlier, what can we expect from Snowman? Amaterasu solo. A lot of what Ama's going to be able to do is provide damage support to their team, UrLocalThugs. Oh my goodness.
Diggin just gets blown up in a fantastic wall. The thunderstorm right after some inclement weather means a double kill here for Chuck. It's all sunshine and daisies for them. And UrLocalThugs get rained on their parade. Ra's got to go back to safety. The sun's not shining here in mid lane no more. 6 minutes, 3-5 Heartshowers with the advantage. And with a gold deficit nonetheless, though, 500 in favor of our side of blue. Just goes to show the lesson that Heartshowers have taught us many times. Kills don't always say everything.
Not everything. That early BDK was very helpful. Skizzy, though, getting pressured out. Maui ult used, Athena ult, and a beads from Ra keeps him up.
Unfortunately, the rest of the team stay alive. Snowman separated from the rest and in a bit of troubles. Thor surveys the battlefield from on high, decides where to crash down, elects to go for the jungle and solo. Aqua goes down first, a good solar swing, keeps the stuns on lock. The Searing Pain finds one, jungle buff goes down, Josh to follow. The thunderstorm drops once again, and the sun might be darkened in a second if Skizzy gets detonated on. They go back in looking to try to finish the job on Snowman. These body blocks, though, as the brother cannot win this sibling rivalry. Chuck takes the kill.
Heart showers. Good lord. They have not lost their edge even a little bit. You can tell that they're feeling especially dominant by the way that they're grouping up, getting really aggressive into the jungle side of your local thugs. Just completely shaking off that explosive start that your local thugs had. This Zeus pick, I was worried about it initially because Zeus is a character that can get dove on so easily. They don't have a lot of mobility outside of the movement speed that they're able to utilize. And if you can catch them without their ult, they're just kind of a sitting duck. However, you got to remember, it's Chuck. Hey, yo, it's Chuck. Rockin' on this Zeus. Lightning can strike twice. He's going to be the guy to make it happen. Talk about mage damage.
Yeah, it's pretty gross to deal with, especially when you have your local thugs trying to kind of apply this simple, easy peasy, easy bake formula of I dive in, I taunt in, I find the caveman combo right afterwards, not just having the same luck. Now Thor diving in aggressively, looking for this Ra in the mid lane, not going to be obliged to that. Athena is on standby, and here comes the piercing moonlight. The response to that dive, not going to be enough. Thunderstorm does not save each jungle buff. They will go down.
That's what your local thugs need to do. Skizzy is absolutely sick with that Ra ult. This is a Ra ult right there. No real setup to speak of, just some tick damage from the Tsukuyomi. Your local thugs looking at BDK.
And they grabbed as a question. Has look offensive, finds some good damage, doesn't find the BDK. Now Amaterasu needs to find a path back to safety. Does manage to do so. No mana on hand, so I'm a bit surprised your local thugs didn't decide to chase. Maybe trying to make sure they don't get a bit overextended. Now, Gold Fury down by Heart Showers once again, just showing that map rotational awareness. They turn losses into wins. That's just what they do.
And Heart Showers, it's what they do. We talked about it before this game. We talked about it in between the games. And something I want to point out, because patterns has been a bit of a theme for Yeet Jungle Buff and for Heart Showers as a whole, there was a lot of pressure put on BDK in Game 1. We were on it on the timer. And your local thugs in this game is like, all right, we're going to focus BDK. We're going to get on it on the timer. And Hardshar says, aha, you know what's totally available if you're all going to focus this BDK? The better objective, Gold Fury. So it does great. Whoa, Thor on Spirited Block. Can he get away?
Does have the agility to do so. The wall does just not find the mark. Narrowly able to eke their way out to victory. I love the way these Anvil of Dawns have been used. So much global presence in general when we look at these two compositions. But of course, it's on different gods with different MOs. You see Athena, speaking of, lurking around this corner. Not going to be able to quite find too much just yet. How do we need to be seeing these global ultimates being used? Hold on that thought, because Chuck already blown it up in an instance. Diggin does not want to hear any analysis. They just want blood. Taking down the mid laner with ease.
That's the meat and potatoes right there. That's peanut butter and jelly. That's Athena taunt into Ra ult. Although from our perspective, I saw Ra completely looking the other way at the Zeus health bar get deleted. I was like, huh? What? Game? Oh, okay. Got him, I guess. And that's the trouble with Zeus. If you don't have beads available, they were down. So you get Athena taunted, you're basically dead. You've got no answer to that. There's nothing you can do. You don't have a CC immune ultimate. You don't have a dash to try to make space. You just die. So Yuskos needs to be sticking around their Zeus to try to peel for them. Because if that Zeus is walking around, that's an old man waiting to get pushed down a set of stairs. Then your local thugs, they're not afraid to commit crimes. Murder is high on the list. Elder abuse not too far behind it. I don't know if I can follow that up with I love what I'm seeing. That feels a little weird. But It's what your local
Weird.
thugs has to do. Keep down Shock. That's so much damage on board for them. If you can put Skizzy ahead, that's a good playmaker that you have. Let Spirit of Book farm and wait till late, because you know that man is cooking up something. But Heartshowers finds that BDK instead.
That's nice. Get some of that gold deficit they've been nursing back in your favor. And now Thor goes back to the sky. Beacon's up for the mark, and Solar Swing on in. Finds the damage, but the bees and Aegis immediately elicited. Landfall finds no targets. Now Maui gonna be the one leading the charge to slowly start to tick away at the meter that Thugs had built up around that beacon. Jingwei the first to the scene. X-Ball nowhere to be seen. The wall's been dropped, the storm call as well, and Jungle Buff's calling back for home. Next one on the mark might be Diggin though as they fall out. This fight's been deforested, no jungle to speak of. Athena ult comes in and teleports 2 feet away as Jingwei exits out of that fight, abandoning their friend Joshi. They're just trying to save you. That's how you repay them. Snowman will be taken off there by a Skizzy, melted by the power of the sun itself. And Thugs still present, healing up and making a show of force around this beacon. They do not want to let this objective go down. They're trying to prove their mettle. They deserve to be here on the finals platform too. Chuck launches the shield, does not find the damage from the chain lightning afterwards, and these solar blessings continue to slowly get Thugs back into a stable position to fight. And it does not seem like Heart Showers want to step up any longer.
Thor's going back up in the air. Are you sure about that? Because he's going back down.
Dear God, it does not stop. Brilliant combo there, but Yuskos gets blown up instantly. Double kill there for Skizzy. The wild card once again shows their fangs, and they can't see anything but gray. Heart Showers lose the beacon. Skizzy tries to find another raw ultimate. Unfortunately, just does not quite get it. Maybe needed a bit more setup. Should have cooked it a bit longer. Nonetheless, Thugs happy with that beacon, happier with the kills.
Yi Jungle Buff walking up there with the ultimate all but available there. I thought for sure Heartshowers had what it took to kind of turn that around, but man, Skizzy does so much damage. They have Divine and Doom Orb online, so they're just ripping with these beams of light. And really unfortunate start for your local Thugs in that fight. A 3-man taunt by Joshi, but can't find the follow-up from Skizzy. Has to settle for the knockup from Spirited Book. Luckily, the damage is good enough to at least dissuade Heartshowers from getting too much off of it. But if Skizzy hit that ult, it would have been a very clean fight for your local Thugs. They are able to come out on top, though, because Heartshowers, I feel like they have this winning mindset, and more often than not, it very much works for them. But if your local Thugs is able to abuse that, able to bait in Yeet Jungle Buff, it could be big. Pyromancer, scooped up by Heartshowers.
No issue there. You saw Athena maybe wanted to make some sort of show of presence around it. Just was not having the numbers, nor maybe the gumption to do so. Fury is up and available. Question is, you decide to go for that too. It's just been, like you said, a winning mentality. Heartshowers are always the ones casting their hand first, whether it be those Thor ultimates. You could say it's a bit risky. You could say they're getting paid back in spades for it. They don't care. It's a mental blow. It's like a hammer to the ribs. Every single time you see that Mjolnir's attunement, every single time that Anvil of Dawn comes crashing down.
You can see it again here. Up goes Jungle Buff. His ult is off the mark. Skizzy beats used. What can they follow up with?
They have the Piercing Moonlight, instantly going to use those beads with Kasari as well, but the Darkest of Nights going to shed a bit more light in this fight for the Heartshowers and force your local Thugs to back right off. Now instead, Spirited Book looking nice and comfortable in this Jingwei, looking nice and comfortable in this Gold Fury pit. As you see X-Ball and the Maui dual lanes step up. Raven Ward cast. They know they're on this as it gets leashed once again. That could cost them. Heartshowers step up here. The winning mentality, but unfortunately in the back, Storm Call gonna try to take down the Storm Lord. Chuck forced away. Gold Fury picked up, I don't even know by who, but Maui's going in and trying to find some damage anyway. Joshi goes down, Spirited Book right after. Comfort won't save you from these hands. Snowman takes that kill. Jungle Buff off of it right afterward. 2 for 1 so far. Dazzling offensive looking for Skizzy. That Aegis gonna save him a bit more time, but not from the damage to follow as the mid laner falls in Punction right afterwards. Diggin continuing to find more kills and opportunities. The Caltrops get laid. Piercing Moonlight finds 2 targets. They madly dash back and forth for more damage, but Ayo and Chuck has returned. As you dig in, me has to remember the real threat in tow. Chuck uses that torrent to escape, and Athena's back in. Will the violence never end? It seems finally there's a call to end the bloodshed.
UrLocalThugs, they were able to scoop up that Gold Fury. So at the very least, they got that. It's going to keep the gold actually very even between these two teams. Holy cow. But unfortunately, Aqua not able to pick up the kill onto Chuck in the back, but I like the aggression. I like the fact that we're pushing away Zeus because they do so much damage. That's a huge chunk of the potential that Heart Showers has. Unfortunately, you gotta keep an eye on Skizzy. Getting jumped on by Snowman here. Amaterasu does so much damage, and they're level 17. I can't believe that we're already 17 minutes in. It's been like a blink of an eye. I feel like we've just started at level 2. We're talking about some nonsense happening at dual lane. Now we're starting to look at things like Fire Giant if it comes up. Talk about a breakneck pace for both of these teams. The pressure just never ends. UrLocalThugs is fighting with everything that they have. We see it in the picks. We see it in how they're playing. We see it in what they are prioritizing for objectives. And they have to, because not only is this Spirited Book's last game, this is the last game for AGL. This is it. This is the big kahuna, the big fish. Can they take it to game 4 is the big question.
Can't end on a sweep. That's just not how you want to see the jersey hung up. You want to see it retired in pride, not shame. And unfortunately, Shock having to retreat with their head hung as that tier 1 is going to be toast. Heart Showers take that away in spades. Hold on, though. Athena on the scene. Jingwei slinging those basics, finding the airstrike onto the shell. Stalls for more time. It's an absolute mugging here. UrLocalThugs going to run in Punction's pockets. Take them down alongside Yuskos. They don't even know what happened, but they got robbed.
What great team play there. You Digging In Me is able to use the ultimate to just catch out the Impunction there. I was worried Zeus was going to be able to pull out some damage. Pyromancer picked up by Heart Showers. Nobody's here to stop it in time. They are going to be able to confirm that, but UrLocalThugs is in the area, and with 2 players down for Heart Showers, there's potential for a big play for UrLocalThugs.
Ooh, good taunt. The Thunderstorm comes a bit too late, and
Bread and
Snowman
butter.
goes down, but they do find Joshi off the back end. Those Caltrops force Zeus in a compromising position, but the Thunderlords got back up in the form of that Thor. Do they drop down to save him? No. He says, Chuck, I'm sorry. You got to deal with this one yourself. As Aqua takes their life for the claim, now they can look for their tier 1 in this mid lane. Maui tries to step up, reel himself in a big one. No chance in hell you do that.
A little bit of a miscommunication, I feel, between Yeet Jungle Buff and Chuck, because Chuck was walking up there there was a lot of confidence in that swagger, a lot of menace involved. It was like, I'm the guy, Thunderbringer, and then completely got yoinked off left stage because UrLocalThug Aqua's like, did somebody say thunder? And just Jungle Buff. If they ulted into that, I feel like Yeet Jungle Buff would have died, but Chuck would have had big damage.
Oh no, Snowman teleports into the wrong place, the wrong time. Once again, these thugs gonna look for round 2. Someone else needs to get robbed this time around. Snowman must have had some awfully deep pockets, and now they've been emptied. UrLocalThugs looking next for this Oni Fury. Immediately afterwards, they have Skizzy's ultimate as potential burn, and they take it away. Now can they grab some extra lives on top? Joshy's looking a bit low for their troubles. Could be in a spot of bother if they decide to back in the wrong space. Thor dives in deep, finds the spin to win, but the Solar Blessing ensures that they stay safe, as now Thor's got to retreat. Can the rest of your team do the same? Aqua goes down, Diggin falls to the Thunderbolts, and this airstrike's got to keep Spirited Book safe.
2 for 1 and a Gold Fury in favor of UrLocalThugs. I don't hate that for UrLocalThugs. Yeah, you lose 2 people, but you're able to pick up that Oni Fury. That's going to help out with your pushes, and more than anything, it keeps your gold in line. Focusing these objectives means that you can lose a couple people in the process and not fall too far behind. I really appreciate how UrLocalThugs has been showing up to these games, and they're getting better and better. But Heart Showers, they are the reigning champs here. And Chuck on the Zeus has been monumental to the teamfight success of Heart Showers. The ultimate And the
Yeah.
raw damage that Zeus is able to put out, it shuts down all-in characters like Tsukiyomi, because when they try to ult onto Zeus, they try to get in there, Zeus just ults on top of himself. And he says, all right, now what? What are you gonna do? You're gonna cry? You're you're dead. You're a dead little baby.
Thugs don't cry.
Thugs don't cry. You gotta thug it out. But if your local thugs is able to say, all right, you dig it in me, I need you to go dive that Zeus, we're gonna do gold. Cool. I take that trade every day.
I think they're seeing this trade here on top of Snowman. Not gonna be able to find the damage they looked for, but certainly do threaten him at the very least. They do have that tier 1 to return to still be in just a fine spot. 22 minutes, 17 to 18, favor of Heart Showers. And they also have the gold lead to their name as well. Only 1,000 though, so really, it is as close as it can get. FG! Started up here by your local thugs, an audacious call. Or was it maybe all just a bait? The storm call finds Snowman, dazzling offensive to answer, but they're already dead before they can find the final blow. Thor in the sky, down on top of Aqua. They find the combo and they find the death. This fight's been de-soloed, and now your local thugs, their unfortunate play has come to pieces around them. It was a good try, but you've been thwarted.
Unfortunate. Aqua walking all by themselves there. If they stuck just a little bit closer to their team, maybe your local thugs could have had a response to that Thor ultimate. Unfortunately, even with Jibal pushing in that left lane, your local thugs needs to stay very careful and alert of the play potential that Harsharas has here, because Chuck is level 20. A level 20 Zeus. They got Rada Tahuti. Those are big items. They finished their starter item. This Zeus is online. But even more than the Zeus being online, he's respawning now Snowman on the Amaterasu. You ask what he does? He does damage. Top damage in the game right now. The ability that this Amaterasu has to stick onto characters like Ra. Ra suffers a lot of the same problems that Zeus does. Doesn't have the mobility that they need. Beads used by Diggin' in Me. Can't find the kill onto each jungle buff, but won't have that relic available for the next tectonic wall that comes out. Pyromancer gets started by Heart Showers.
Or at least you get that Aegis off the Thor, so nothing you got for your team. Heart Showers do take that Pyro. Do they get the Athena right after, trying to walk away? Now Maui in trouble too. The shell's been expended to keep them safe. It will be doing so. Skizzy did burn that ultimate too, so unfortunate you didn't get to secure, because again, every single time it seems that there's a god that your local thugs take for that express purpose, it just never works out.
Yeah, it's tragic, but maybe it'll pay off later. Ra's been putting into work in areas that aren't objective steals. They've been doing great at deleting players. We're just not able to out-confirm this honestly fed Zeus that we're up against. And Thor, Jibalanke, there's so much damage available for Heart Showers for objective shreds that happen now and in the future that it's going to take more than a raw alt on an objective. You know what I want to see? Honestly,
What you got?
Your local thugs, screw the objective, right?
Okay.
Yeah, all right, this is a hot take.
I'm with you.
All right, screw the objective. Just kill him.
Okay.
Like, if raw ult happened on top of Zeus there, or maybe just try to find some squishies instead and then look for a counter engage, that could be sick. Because imagine with me that Heart Showers is putting a lot of effort, a lot of pouring all their abilities into trying to clean up a Gold Fury, a Pyromancer, an FG. Just Tsukiyomi, Blink Chalk ult or something like that. Just raw ult them. Just kill them. Make them pay. They have so much dive potential. Athena can just get in there, taunt, set up, and just kill them. I don't know how many times I can say it before it really starts to lose its meaning, but I honestly feel like that's the play for your local thugs. They've been doing pretty well in the murder department. It's a real department. It's next to
Tax-free.
HR, tax-free, you know? And I just want to see them leverage that. If we're not able to contest objectives, just fight off the players. Just don't look at it. Find something else.
Downsize the objective department and get some new hirees, new contractors inside that murder department might just be the way to go. We do know Heart Showers have great workers benefits, so hopefully your local thugs can find some too. And I gotta say, I'm liking at the very least your local thugs are playing to what I expected in terms of its comfort, it's simple, and I think they're operating on that form. They're not picking up this Jingwei, this Ra, this Athena, just to kind of sit on their thumbs with it. They're getting active. That's great. It shows that they have not yet dismissed the possibility of this reverse sweep that we are looking for in order to get a bit more competitive of the set out of us. So I'm liking that. Your Local Thugs now stand to grab this beacon. No one here to contest, and that's nice. A bit more stature pressure around this map could certainly help you out. Just knock down that tier 1 in solo with a light gust of wind could be nice. And now this Fury back up for the mark. The question is, who makes their first hand at it? And then the second question is, do they decide to invest in the murder department?
So your local thugs, if they do decide to go on this gold trade, they do have to be careful because Heart Showers does have vision on it. They have the oracles ready and available. And I worry that if your local thugs does decide to commit to this gold fury, Heart Showers doesn't even show up because FG is available. And that is going to be the juicier target. That's what we really want to start looking at. Your local thugs kind of disagreeing with me here, though. They group up for this gold fury and they go in on Thor? Nope,
Well, they
denied.
tried, at the very least. Yeah, Wall's going to instantly put a stop to their plans. I like it, though. They're trying to get some kills. They're trying to get active. Unfortunately, not the most easy target to dive. That's going to be Chuck, but they've been doing such a great job only dying twice on their team. In fact, the least tied with X-Ball, who has a CC immune dash. So Chuck's positioning has just been really keeping them at odds with your local thugs and what they want to try to accomplish. Now, though, standing a bit far forward could be in a bit of danger. Best be careful, my friend.
They have raw heal and sustain in between these little skirmishes, but that's not going to stop Heart Showers from looking for something. They're surging forward and they're separating your local thugs.
Ooh. They try to get that grapple, don't quite find the mark. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, it's a faux solo as Amaterasu and Shock deal out. Here goes the airstrike. There goes Impunction. Wiped off the face of the map. Digging Me goes down to Chuck. Wiped away, that's huge. Book gets the double. Joshi will fall and caught inside the Solar Blessing. Thugs continue to try to heal their way up and bring Heart Showers down. Skizzy will fall to 3 for 2 so far. Heart Showers got the better end of it. Can they find the reversal? Not quite. Aqua will fall at Snowman's blade. Now it's Spirited Book, their last meal. Take one last bite before you go down to Heart Showers with the deicide.
So unfortunate, your local thugs, they had a good Athena taunt there and they made well of it. Impunction gets almost immediately deleted. They find Chuck not too long afterwards, but unfortunately the counter engage, the damage from Amaterasu, from Thor, it's too much. Heart Showers finding a Phoenix here. Your local thugs, they're dead for a bit, but not long enough. They'll be there for a Titan defense if it comes to it. Heart Showers can't make that final push. They have to wait just a bit. It's only appetizers at this last dinner, but the main course is right around the corner. Unless your local thugs is able to stop the waiter from coming with that dish, get into the kitchen, pull Remy the Rat out from the hat of Heart Showers, and force them to play on their own terms. Call the health inspector. We're trying to shut this down. Primal Fury picked up for Heart Showers.
There's no Ratatasker, but there certainly is a Thor. Global Ultimates are still going to be good for the mark if they find the right target. And you can see them, Thugs, with the wiggles, knowing it's incoming, and will force each jungle buff to reconsider. 27 minutes, 20 to 24, Heart Showers with the leading kills, with the leading gold, too. 7K to their name, and they're ruling the player damage too. Chuck doing such a great job. Even though they died in that last big engagement, they forced so much attention to them and still got off a full ability rotation before going down. Now it's FG on the mark as we begin to all posture towards this right side of the map. And you know what stinks is that it's the left Phoenix that went down. At the very least, you got a Jingwei and an Athena who could very easily return back to the fight.
Yeet jungle buff isn't necessarily on a character that favors split pushing this time around, so your local thugs has that much going for them in terms of defense. Heart Showers does find that Pyromancer, though. They're going to leave the bomb there. It's about sending a message. We don't need that.
Yeah, fair enough. I respect it. You know, just, oh, okay, well, you know, just throw
well,
out that game plan, I guess.
Sure,
I like
whatever.
it's, you know, it got
back.
enough. The 5 seconds that it was on the field. Thugs
5
Thugs
second
now.
rule.
Exactly. It's still good. Not enough bacteria for them to not pick it up. Your local thugs now just trying to slow the game's pace down here, and I don't blame them for it. We've talked before about the fact that it's comfort versus this more complex ideal, this winning mentality that Heart Showers have been forcing around. How can your local thugs start to get that mojo on their side? What's got to be their key for the next fight?
honestly, just bread and butter of victory. Maui ult's gonna find Spirited Book, forced to ult away. Heart Showers, Thor's gonna be in the air to give chase.
No. This is their bread and butter, and you might be getting served up on a platter. Appetizers served up so good. Spirited Book finds themselves first down on the menu. Now it might be this tier 2 in the mid lane going up next. Retreating back, Skizzy, low mobility, low health, no health. They're gonna fall. Joshi, right afterwards, this might just be it. Minute-long death timers, and Snowman dashes in aggressively. It's brother versus sister, and Heart Showers have won that war before up against their former tier mates. A great piercing moonlight, though, takes down Snowman. Yuskos goes down, but it's not gonna be enough. They are giants among men. They are champions of Glacier's division. Heart Showers take it in 3.
Heart Showers, they play good, clean, effective Smite game. We have watched them do it time and time and time and time and time again. They are a relentless monster that does not care what you do to them at any stage of the game. It crosses the 20-minute mark and your fate is sealed. But your local thugs were able to put up a substantial fight. They played honestly pretty well. It just fell apart that last team fight. They just got separated. They got picked up. The Maui ult was able to find Spirited Book. That's all it took. When you have Yeet jungle buff to give chase with the Thor ult, even a character like Jingwei that is able to run forever and ever, you cannot run away from your problems. They will always find you, and it's in the form of Yeet jungle buff. The tectonic wall catches Jingwei in the stun, and with the president down, it just all kind of crumbles from there. Your local thugs cannot find their way to game 4.
Tragic to see a staple like Spirited Book and the rest of our friends there on your local thugs not be able to come up with a victory, especially playing that Jingwei, some of their more comforting picks. At the very least, though, you ended it with a sword in your hand. You ascend to Valhalla amongst the other greats of Smite. But it is going to be a clean sweep victory there for the Heart Showers, and well-deserved. I mean, like you said, they just played it by the book, and they played it gosh darn beautifully. Usually we got 5 players here on this team, and we've got a hard decision in front of us. Who is your MVP?
That is a very difficult decision to put on me here, D'Lo, because
We can put our heads together here.
All right, hold on. Group huddle up. So I'm looking
Okay.
at AO, it's Chuck, right? Like that guy,
Right.
he does so much damage. He's so consistent at the game, but like Snowman, everywhere he goes, he just kind of wins, right? Like what are you supposed to do about that? And then Yeet jungle buff? Like, come on, man.
Kind of fire.
Kind of fire. They're all kind of fire. You know what? I'm gonna give it to Chuck. Chuck, generational Zeus
Yo.
game here in this last game, because good lord, they were able to kite and avoid a position so well that they were able to utilize this Zeus damage to its full potential. Chuck has been like a very consistent player in all of these games. You can always rely on the fact that Chuck is going to pop off at one point or another and work very well with the fact that Yeet jungle buff and Snowman can just be aggressive and do their own thing, because they know that Chuck with Yuskos and Impunction is just going to be the rock center of the team and dish out every single little thing they need to do.
Chuck will get my vote as well. Absolutely brilliant performance, whether it be on Thoth, whether it be on the old man. No life alert needed by this guy. Instead, you're the one visiting the morgue. So great job to him. Great job to the rest of our friends on Heart Showers. You are our AGL Diamond Division champions for the foreseeable future, and they can hold on to that belt for as long as they so please. With that, though, that is all we have here for you today and for a while here with AGL Diamond Division, our champions. Once again, the Heart Showers. Congratulations, our friends on your local thugs. Better luck next time. It's been a pleasure. I've been D'Lo, joined by the vocal talents of Musicland. We had our desk duo, the lovely Glacier, joined by McConis as well. And of course, Tess, the almighty eye in the sky. Please make sure to thank our production for all of their hard work. We could not do it without them. And last, but never least, thank you, loyal, obedient viewer, for your time. We hope you've enjoyed this set and all AGL has had to offer across these years. Keep an eye in the sky for more people out there just playing some good Smite, whether it be in this league in the future or any other league in the future. We hope to see you around in those chats. Until then, though, guys, good games and good night.